Well, hello. Welcome back. It's been so long. It's just been a little bit of time. I did nothing. I tried to eat, but it didn't happen. I've still got my food still sitting here. Yeah. All I did was get Hector out the window, right, Cindy? Squirrel. Running loose. Let's make meat a small meat. We'll just have him peeking out over there. Hello, 80s. Hi, Lois. Hi, Cindy. How is everybody? I wanted to go ahead and do this because we're going to be behind on this trial. So with all the, let's see if I can make me just a wee bit smaller over here. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. That was a little smaller. Okay. I'm over here looking in the corner. So anyways, back to court. Day 7. I haven't looked at any of it because we were with Coburger all day. So I have no clue. What's going on. So we're just going to just roll with the punches and I'll figure it out. So, and I need to know what was going on. And great news. Great news. Court TV went back to their old style today. So I don't know if they had lots of complaints. I don't know, but we're back to our regular style. So I am extremely pleased with that. So with that, I am going to put this on 1.25, which shouldn't be too fast, but we still should be able to like fast forward through all the breaks and everything. So with that, let's roll. I know I hated that court TV setup, Lois. I hated it. It was so aggravating. So that's why I was so, when I peeked in today and seeing they had court going back to the old regular screen, I was so freaking happy. I was so happy. So I'm going to hit play. I'm going to mute my mic and see where we're at. Whoop, wrong button, Sheila. Quit pushing so many buttons.
24-1-132534.
Boost the sound. Watch your ears for a second.
Matters are before the court today on a continuation of trial. Ms. Stone and Ms. Zoe are present on behalf of the state. Mr. Kading is present with Mr. Ali and representing Mr. Ali. Mr. Leary is present with Mrs. Ali and representing Mrs. Ali. Before we bring the jury in this morning, do you have any preliminary issues for the court today, Ms. Stone?
Yeah.
And if you indicated this yesterday, I did not write it down. Can you indicate who is doing the exams today for the different?
We don't get to hear that who's doing the exams. We don't get to hear. We don't get to hear. I don't like not hearing.
All right. If you bring the jury in, please.
Bring the jury. Let's get this party rolling. Let's watch these awesome parents.
Oh, yes, please. Good morning. And you're free to sit or stand. We're standing as we wait for the jury.
Oh, okay. I'll just stand with you guys.
Okay. Yes. Morning, please be seated. Members of the jury, welcome back. We are going to continue where we left off yesterday, and that is with the direct examination of Ms. Waltermeyer. Ms. Stone, you may continue.
Thank you.
Good morning again, Ms. Waltermeyer.
Good morning.
Thank you for being back. I'm going to beat Mr. Leary to the punch. I'm thanking you for being here. When we met yesterday, or spoke yesterday during your testimony, you had talked about, we kind of ended up talking about some transitions to online schooling for that student, Fatima. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you would indicated during your testimony that you had some concerns as a school about Fatima moving to online schooling. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And as I recall your testimony, and correct me if I'm wrong, you had indicated that she does better in person. So that was one of the concerns. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you have another concern associated with that? Well, let me ask this a different way. Do you recall testimony yesterday indicating that you had a concern that she would not have access to adults, in-person access to adults?
Yes, I said that yesterday.
What kind of concern was that? Was that purely academic or something else?
Something else. I mean, academic, having access to adults is important, but
without providing specific details about anything underlying, what type of concern was that?
Access to share information with adults that could be trying to like think about this without going dark. Access to share information with adults who may have to report something to law enforcement and or CPS.
Okay, so if I understand, is it fair to call that a safety concern?
Yes.
Okay. And you talked about the trespass order. We finished with the trespass order. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And as part of that conversation, you had indicated that you'd previously looked at video footage associated with the school. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Sorry, as the underlying event for the trespass order.
Oh, yes.
So that begs the question then, does your school have video surveillance?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about that video surveillance, starting with about how many cameras are there, so to speak?
I believe there's about 100 cameras, maybe 80. They're numbered kind of weird. So we could have cameras 64-1, 64-2, 64-3. So about 100, 80 to 100 cameras that are inside the building and outside of the building.
And what areas, generally speaking, do they cover?
Outside of the building, parking lots, the back side of the building, some of the athletic fields, inside of the building, all entrances, hallways. Okay.
And are those cameras, for lack of a better word, named? Meaning, do they have titles associated with them? How do you differentiate one camera from the next?
They're numbered cameras.
And what do you mean by they're numbered cameras? Are they numbered on the camera itself or on the footage or something else?
When I pull it up on my computer, it's just they're named camera 1, 2. Some of them have like camera 13 is office in parentheses.
And so as part of your role as the assistant principal, does your school also have a vice principal, or is that essentially equate to a vice principal?
It's the same.
Okay. And so as the assistant principal, I know you've indicated you've previously downloaded footage before. Is that something that you do regularly or often, or is that part of your job or something else?
It's part of my job to review camera footage as necessary and download footage when requested by district office or a records request, or just something that we would like to save.
How often would you say you do that, and or how many times if it's not a consistency type event?
I look at cameras every single day, downloading footage maybe once a month.
And you said you do that at the request of both the district office and law enforcement. Is that correct?
Yes. With that said, our SRO has access to cameras, Officer Howard, and she will pull the footage also as needed.
Okay, so between the two of you, you both are able to pull footage from the school. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in the, you said every day you've been there this is your 5th year, I believe you said. You look at it and you've downloaded about once a month. So during all of those times that you've downloaded footage, has that footage appeared to be a true and accurate depiction of events as you were reviewing them?
Yes.
Okay. And is that video system one that your school and district rely upon for review and decisions that you're making about actions to take within the Timberline High School on behalf of North Thurston School District?
Yes.
And I think we've talked about it before, but is Timberline High School part of the North Thurston School District?
It is, yes.
And is that one of the properties, is Timberline High School one of the properties that North Thurston School District owns or manages or leases?
Yes.
Okay. When you actually go into review and download that footage, how do you do that? What does that process look like?
So one, I have to be at school or at a district site I have to be on the server. So it's not anything I can do from home, but I have to be on the server, and I go into Exact Vision to access the cameras. And then from there, usually I will scroll to find the camera that I am looking for.
Okay. And then when you download it, is it just as simple as clicking a download button and making the copy and sending it where you need it to go?
Yes, and putting it in the right format.
What do you mean by that, putting it in the right format?
So I can't remember, like MP3 or whatever. So it will play in a different format because ExactVision, we can download it there and play it, but I need it to be able to be accessible for whoever I have to share it with so they can pull it up in whatever media thing will play for them.
So meaning as, if I understand your testimony, ExactVision essentially has its own executable playing program. And so you have to create a generalized, put it into a generalized format so that it can be played on any playing program. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And that system that you indicated, you have to be hooked onto the internet. You have like a password login for that system that you have to use. Meaning, can I just walk into the school district and get on ExactVision?
No, it's downloaded on my computer. So I have to log into my computer to have access to that. And the district has to give people access. So.
Okay. And is that footage that you can edit or modify, meaning add people into the footage, take people out of the footage, or delete events from that footage?
No, nor do I know how.
Okay, that was my next question. And did you review any footage from an incident occurring after school on October 18, 2024?
Yes, I did.
And where did you review that footage originally? Meaning, did you review it originally within the school district itself?
Yes, I reviewed it at Timberline High School in my office.
And did you provide that footage for anyone?
I saved footage of that afternoon for the district office.
Okay. And prior to this hearing, have you had an opportunity to review footage from a set of interior and exterior cameras depicting these events?
Yes.
And when and where did you have an opportunity to do that?
Monday here at the courthouse.
Okay, so Monday of this week at the prosecutor's office, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember what the date was on Monday?
No clue.
Okay. Is today the 23rd of July?
It is. So I guess, would that be the 20th?
That would be the 21st?
Okay. So July 21st.
And based on your knowledge of the school property itself, the persons depicted, the circumstances depicted, and your knowledge and familiarity with the video system of itself, did that footage you review appear to be a true and accurate copy of the originally contained footage that you downloaded from that system?
Yes.
May I return?
You may.
Ms. Walter Meyer, I've handed you States Exhibit 114 through 120. I'd ask you to look at those silently to yourself for a moment and then look up at me when you're done, please. Do you recognize what I've handed you?
Yes.
And what are those first generally?
Memory sticks. They have my initials on them.
Okay. So as memory sticks, is there something specific indicating what is contained on those memory sticks?
Yes, it says the camera, THS, and then the camera name.
Okay, so I'm going to start with States Exhibit 114.
Okay.
Do you recognize States Exhibit 114?
Yes.
How do you recognize States Exhibit 114?
That it has my initials on it.
Initials, is there
And
anything
date.
else? Is there a date indicated?
Yeah. 7/21/25.
Okay, and which camera is that indicated for?
68-1.
Okay. And what about States Exhibit 115?
This one is THS camera 16.
115 is camera 16?
Yes.
Okay. And what about States Exhibit 115, or excuse me, 116?
That's camera 17.3.
And States Exhibit 117?
THS camera 15.
States Exhibit 118?
That's camera 68-4-2.
States Exhibit 119?
That's camera 67-4.
And then States Exhibit 120, please, ma'am.
Camera at 54. I can't make out the number, 0.2 maybe.
Okay.
It's like bunched in there.
It's a small tag. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And each of those exhibits, states exhibits 114 through 120, do each of those contain your initials and the date of review by you?
Yes, they do.
And based on that review, do those appear to be true and accurate copies of that initial video download footage that you provided to the school district itself?
Yes.
Okay. During this time, the state would move to admit states exhibits 114 through 120.
Mr. Kading, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Leary, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
114 through 120 shall be admitted.
May I retrieve those and publish on it?
You may.
Y'all hear that? It sounds like a bangle bracelet in my ears. I know now it's just a bunch of thumb drives, but all that clink, it sounds like a bangle bracelet that we used to wear like way back when. I say bangle bracelet. I don't even know what they're called anymore. Bracelet, bracelet.
Let's start with the state's exhibit 118. Ms. Wiltmeyer, I'm going to play it first and then ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
And so state's exhibit 118, actually I'm going to ask you some questions before we start the initial play. When this first came up, was a camera identified, a camera associated with it identified? Did you see that block pop up at the bottom? That's right. I'll pause.
That's not my phone ringing. That's the court. Holy smokes. Who's calling?
Thank you.
That was crazy.
I'll come back and ask that question again. First of all, what is depicted in 68-4-2?
This is Timberline High School's parking lot. This camera is angled back towards the school. The school would be in the upper right-hand corner, but you can't see it because of the trees. And then you can see Mullen up on the upper left-hand corner.
And when you say Mullen, you mean Mullen Road?
Yes.
Okay. And about how long is this video itself? Do you recall? Or can you tell from this?
22 minutes.
So is that the 22:49 in the bottom right-hand corner?
Yeah, from maybe far away. I can.
That's okay. Down here where this cursor is?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to start it, and then I may pause it and move forward, and I'll make a note of that, okay?
Okay.
Starting it at the beginning. Just to be clear, is there any audio associated with these cameras?
No.
Okay.
No audio, so we're just looking at no picture whatsoever. We're not even talking. We're watching a video with no sound, no nothing. And we don't get to see it.
Pausing at 1:51. There it goes. Oh,
Well,
there. Pause at 1:59.
hello,
Ms.
mother.
Wiltmeyer, why did you initially capture this this camera?
This camera shows Mr. Ali's truck pulling into the parking space.
Okay. And I'm going to move the camera forward to about 9 minutes. I'll make that note when I get there. So stop it at 9:19, and I'm restarting it at 9:19. And then pausing it at 9:45. Ms. Wiltmeyer, did you recognize any of the individuals, students walking through that scene?
Yes, that was 50.
And I'm restarting it at 9:45. 1134. Mrs. Waltermeyer, did the truck that you previously referred to as identifying as Mr. Ali's, did that vehicle move?
Yes, it did.
Okay, what is next to the location where the vehicle relocated to?
The city bus stop.
Okay. And does it appear Mr. Ali is getting out of his vehicle at 1134?
It does.
Restarting that.
Yeah, more video we can't see.
And during the course of this, would you say that this is a normal amount of traffic, school traffic?
Yes, this would be a normal school ending of the day traffic wise.
So picking up at 2203. And what has just occurred at approximately 22:15 in the video?
Police have, there's police present at Timberline High School.
Does that appear to be the first, at least, video indication of police arriving?
Yes, from this camera angle.
Okay. And do you recognize excuse me, you stopped it at, it went through to 2249. Do you decide when to start and stop that camera? Meaning what sections to capture, essentially?
Yes,
Was there anything from your recollection after that regarding those individuals that you observed? Meaning, did that appear to be the sum of the this camera's capturing of those events? Students, Fatima.
Oh, their pause was on point. They did that, and they paused Mom with her eyes closed. I didn't pause nothing. That was funny. Oh, the screen's poking out on me. Oh no, don't tell me.
And next I'm going to show you
days.
Exhibit 114, which is camera 68-1. Files individually labeled as well.
yes,
And this is approximately an hour-long footage. Is that correct?
yes.
An hour-long footage. Oh, we're not going to sit through all that because we can't hear a scene of it.
And what scene is this capture?
This is a camera angled in the parking lot, Timberline High School, like towards Mullen Road. And then up in the far left, it captures Mrs. Ali and Haneen Ali running through the parking lot.
And so a little after 30 seconds, you observed Haneen and Mrs. Ali arriving and running through the parking lot. Is that correct?
Correct.
And did you see during the course of that the IT bus showing up at the top of that screen as well?
Yes.
And when we say at the very top, are we talking this upper right-hand side here where Mullen Road?
Yeah, that is Mullen Road, and the IT bus or the city bus stop is right where those trees are.
Okay, so at the very beginning, the bus comes through, then you see Mrs. Ali and Haneen coming into the scene. Is that correct?
Correct.
And will this footage eventually show law enforcement arriving and fire trucks arriving as well? Do you recall?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. I'm going to move it forward to about 58 minutes. Are you familiar with Miss, I'm hitting pause at 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Are you familiar with Haneen and Mrs. Ali's vehicle that they arrived in that day, if you know?
Yes, I'm familiar with it. I had watched footage earlier in the day and captured footage earlier in the day of the vehicle dropping off Nora Ali and Nora.
Okay.
Oops, wasn't supposed to say their names.
And then
Big
at
oops.
54:27, I have the footage paused. Do you see Mrs. Ali and Haneen Ali in this footage?
I do.
And do you see the vehicle that you've previously described them walking toward?
Yes.
And where is that footage in terms of this this photograph? I mean, it's the video, but in terms of the screen, upper right, center, lower, somewhere else. Upper
Where?
left. How would you describe their location on the screen?
Oh, mid left, upper left corner.
I'm going to start it at 54:27.
A Lacey fire truck is leaving.
And as I move that camera forward to 58:05, what is happening in 58:05? Actually, I'm going to pause it and back it up about 15 seconds. I'm backing it up to 57:32. What is happening in 57:32? Restarting the video at 57:32.
Mrs. Ali, well, the car is moved, and Mrs. Ali is getting out of the car and is in the parking lot.
This portion of the video while we're still waiting.
Yes, it has.
What color is that vehicle? For the
Silver.
record.
Silver.
Yeah, is there any other coloring on that vehicle besides silver?
Yeah, silver and black.
Thank you. Does that vehicle appear to be running at this point in the video?
Yes, it does.
And we're right at about 59:21.
Yes.
Still playing. What is happening now in that video?
It appears that Mr. Ali's truck is moving, and now the car that Hanina is driving is moving.
Is that the same vehicle that you had captured at the beginning of State's Exhibit? I believe it was 118.
Yes.
Okay. And that is completed. Showing you State's Exhibit 119. This camera 67-4.
This is in the parking lot, a little bit closer to the school building than the previous cameras. It's angled towards the ball fields, and you can kind of see Mullen Road off to the right. That's where the line of cars is.
Is that where the bus stop location area would be as well, on that line of cars at the upper right-hand side?
Yes. And then towards the left is the school, the gym area of the school.
And what do you see depicted at this point of the video? Regarded about 47 seconds.
And the upper right-hand corner is Fatima and I jogging towards the school.
Is there anyone coming behind them?
Yeah, following them is Mrs. Ali and Haneen.
How long is this video in total?
2.5 minutes.
2 minutes and 24 seconds. Is that accurate?
I can't actually see it from
That's
this.
okay.
Okay.
About 2.5.
About 2.5.
Mrs. Baltimore, on the upper left-hand side is a series of crosswalks. Do you see those?
Yes.
Earlier, we watched a video of the students, Fatima and thank you. Earlier, we saw the students, Fatima and Isaiah, walking across a section of cross-section of crosswalks. Is that the same one that you see in this State's Exhibit 119?
Yes.
Okay, just from the other side of it?
Yes, from the other side of it.
I'll show you State's Exhibit 120. And this video is approximately 2 minutes and 55 seconds, or not approximately. It is 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What area is being depicted of the school here?
This is a camera from the front of the school. It's a little bit off-centered from the front of the school, and you see Fatima and to the front of the school building.
And what is there a sign depicted in this scene?
Our Timberline campus expectations. Yeah.
So is that sign? Is there a Timberline High School sign at the front of the property?
Yes.
And the sign that says Timberline, indicating that's Timberline High School and the campus expectations, is that the sign? Did an individual just run through the video?
Yes, that was Mrs. Ali.
Did Mrs. Ali just run past that campus expectation sign?
Yes, she did.
I'm going to pause. Y'all hear all the clinking going on? See this big rock? This big rock. This is what all the clinking is. Lola is carrying a rock. I don't know. This dog. Here, Lola.
Came across the screen a moment ago and is returning to the screen now.
Yes, that's Mrs. Ali.
What is in the direction of where Mrs. Ali just came from? When we earlier watched, is it fair to say Mrs. Ali walked and followed the students essentially to the bottom of the screen? Do you recall that?
Yes, so she followed Fatima and back into the building.
So what is in the direction?
I'm sorry, the exhibit has finished plating to its conclusion.
Thank you. And what is in the direction of, are the front doors in the direction of the way we initially watched everyone essentially enter the scene?
Yes.
When we saw Mrs. Ali return, did she come back from the same direction or did she come from a different direction? Meaning, did she come from the bottom of the screen or did she come from the side of the screen?
She came from the side of the screen.
Are there different entrances at the side of the screen?
There is.
Okay, can you tell me about those, please?
Yeah, so there's 2 front doors, or a whole section of front doors, and then there's a side door that students, or we use to go down to the gym. Everybody exits the front doors out to the parking lot usually, and the side door is for access to the gym and other buildings.
Okay. Playing State's Exhibit 116. And this video is about 1 minute and 39 seconds. And where are we looking at here? What area is this?
This is the front of the building, so those are the front doors. We see Fatima.
I paused it at 10 seconds. And what do we see?
We see Fatima coming in, and not quite in full view is Isaiah.
And do you recognize anyone on the upper right-hand side of this video?
Yes.
Those individuals.
Yes. Up to the upper right is Mr.
Which one is Mr.
Sure.
Okay, resuming play at 10 seconds. And where did Fatima just go in this video?
She entered the front school office.
And what about following her? Where did that student, Isaiah, go?
Isaiah went into the office.
And what just occurred on the video in about 30-ish seconds?
Mr.
And what is occurring now at about 45 seconds?
Mrs. Ali entered the school building and front office.
Uh-oh.
And
She
is
wasn't
this part of
supposed
the
to enter.
area from which you had previously trespassed her?
Yes.
Did she have the permission of the school or the district to be in the building or on the property on that day?
Oh.
No.
Trespassing.
For the purpose of the record, are there still students, other students, unrelated to these events, depicted in this video?
Yes.
Are there after-school activities for which you would expect students to still be around after 2 p.m.?
Yeah.
What's happening now in the video?
Mrs. Ali is leaving the building.
And that was at about 1:35 into the video, is that correct?
Yes.
And that video played to completion?
She was asking you that question.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
That's
I
okay.
thought that was a statement.
That's okay.
Do take notice that
So you take exhibit 117.
Miss Ali is sure paying a little bit more attention right now than what she has been. She's actually looking up, listening, looking at the person testifying and all that. She hasn't done much of that. She's just been staring at the table most of the time.
And I'm going to pause it for a moment at 4 seconds. This minute is about 3 minutes and 16, or is 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Is that correct in total?
Yes.
First of all, do you recognize any individuals? What are we looking at? What area are we looking at here?
This is our front office. And we're looking at Miss. And then Miss.
It's July. Is it fair to say most of the school is currently on vacation?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm restarting it at 4 seconds. And I'm pausing it right at 23 seconds. What did we just observe in the video?
We observed Fatima and Denise. We're walking Fatima back to the back office area.
And did you see the other student, Isaiah?
Yes.
Okay. Was that behind Fatima, just like you saw in the prior video?
Yes, he entered behind her.
Just to be clear, are these the same double doors or the doors to the front office that we watched in just the prior video? Essentially, is this just a carry-on of that same timeline?
It is a carry-on. Those are the same doors.
Okay. I'm restarting it at 23 seconds. Who is that speaking? Do you know?
That works for True North. That's on site.
And who is depicted now in the video?
Mrs. Ali.
And this is in the front office, still on the school grounds. Is that correct?
It is.
Where everybody has disappeared off the video, what's on the other side of the bottom left-hand side of that video?
2 wood fire doors are over there. And I believe what happened is that they got closed and were being held.
And we're at about 1 minute and 24 seconds. Was Mrs. Ali depicted in the video between that time she entered that you said and minute and 24 seconds?
Yes.
And has she now left as of about 1:24? Has she left that office?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ending that video at 1:47. And playing States Exhibit 115. Who is States Exhibit 115?
This is the side doors. So there's the front doors and there's a door that exits to the breezeway.
And this is about 1 minute and 35 seconds for this video. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we're at about 18 seconds in, 20 seconds. What is depicted in this video?
Mrs. Ali has left and there's doors over to the side that enter the side office area. It looks like she's walking over that way. Mr. Dean just walked out.
And when you say Mr. Dean, are you talking about the individual in the white sleeves at the upper left-hand side?
Yes.
Who just walked out of the double doors on the bottom right-hand side? And is that the, just to the right of the center in this video, is there a sign indicated?
Yes.
Is that same campus expectation sign that we saw in the prior video?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see Mrs. Ali, has she left by the end of that video?
She has left.
Okay, down that same walkway upon which she entered?
The crosswalk walkway, yes.
Yeah, okay. May I approach, Honor?
You may.
Ms. Kinley, I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibits 106 to 112. Ask you to look at those silently to yourself for a moment, and then look up at me when you're done.
Yes, case one. This is from today. This is today's testimony. We are late because we did the Coburger thing, so we were able to catch it, and we are zooming through all the breaks, all the little page flipping, all this. Yeah, this is from this morning. Actually, their morning is, they started at 11 a.m. my time, so they've been going less than 5 hours, and they're not done with their day yet. And this lady's been on the stand most of the day.
Do you recognize what I've handed you?
Yes.
Okay, and what are those?
Pictures or still shots of the cameras we just reviewed.
Okay, and based on the, for each of those exhibits, States Exhibits 106 through 112, you indicated they're still shots. Do each of those exhibits have a cover sheet associated with them?
Yes.
And what does the cover sheet identify?
The camera and the shot. It says THS camera 68-4-2 shots.
Is that consistent then for each of the individual cameras identifying the cameras?
Yes.
Okay. Is that, are the cameras individually identified on the photo themselves or only on the cover sheet?
Only on the cover sheet.
Okay. And based on your review of both your knowledge of your own camera system, the videos that we just watched, those appear to be true and accurate copies or still shots from those videos we just watched and accurately identified by the camera themselves via the cover sheet?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, the state would move to admit States Exhibits 106 through 112.
Mr. Kading, any objection? Mr. O'Leary? 106 through 112 shall be admitted.
May I retrieve those and publish on it?
You may.
Ms. Waltermeyer, we're not going to go through all of the photos, but I do want to just go through a handful of them, okay?
Yes.
Starting first with States Exhibit 106. Just that cover sheet that you have previously identified, is that correct?
Yes.
And so what is the information contained on States Exhibit 106 on that cover sheet?
It says THS cam 68-4-2 shots.
And is that the THS cam 68-4-2, is that how the camera is named? We talked about camera names earlier, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so is this the showing you page 1 as it's notated at the very bottom right-hand side of each of these photos within a packet of State's Exhibit 106. What are we looking at in this photograph?
We are looking at the Timberline High School parking lot and Mr. Ali's truck coming into the parking lot.
And what time is indicated that this video is essentially paused at in that?
11 seconds.
Okay. And is that at the bottom left-hand side?
It is.
And does that runner, like we talked about from the video, does that runner at the bottom correspond to the video itself and the elapsed time essentially from that video?
Yes.
Showing you State's Exhibit 107. Which camera is this, ma'am?
68-1, THS camera 68-1.
And which camera angle or set of footage does this apply to?
This is Timberline campus parking lot. And this camera is pointing towards Mullen Road in the ball field.
Okay, and do you see what time or about how long is this camera, if you can tell? Is this about an hour long, 59-ish minutes?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What is depicted in the right at the beginning of the camera, or excuse me, beginning of the footage at 00, what's depicted in the very top left?
That's this inner city transit bus.
And I apologize, I said top left, top center. Is that the inner city transit bus? Is that what you said?
Yes, that is.
And I'm not certain if it was indicated for this exhibit. This is page 1 of the exhibit. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Your Honor. It is page 1 of the exhibit. And each of these exhibits has multiple pages. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, and those are all indicated on the bottom left hand or right hand corner. I don't know my right from my left. Bottom right hand corner. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Showing you State's Exhibit 108. Which camera angle is this?
This is THS camera 67-4.
Okay. And what angle are we looking at here?
This is a camera.
I apologize. Showing you page 1 of that State's Exhibit 108. What are we looking at in page 1?
This is a camera closer to the school in the Timberline parking lot.
Can you see if anyone is indicated up here and towards the upper right-hand side?
Yeah, that is Fatima. And
The elapsed time at the bottom, if you can see.
I can't see it from this angle.
No, that's okay. Is it a little less than halfway into this footage that is about 2 minutes and 24 seconds?
Yes.
Okay. And showing you page 2 of that exhibit, is that Fatima and?
Yes.
Okay. And page 3 of that footage, do you see who's depicted on page 3 of that footage at about 1 minute and 6 seconds?
Yes, that's Mrs. Ali and Haneen.
Okay. Just to be clear, is this parking lot part of school campus?
Yes, it is.
Showing you State's Exhibit 109. What footage is this of, Pam?
This is THS camera 54-2.
Okay. Showing you page 1 of that. This is the 2 minute and 55 second video that we previously watched. It's paused, or there's a shot at about 12 seconds. What is depicted at about 12 seconds on page 1?
This is the front of the school, Fatima, and at the top right.
Showing you page 2. What's depicted in page 2?
Front of the school, Fatima, still in the top right, walking towards the front of the school.
Is Fatima facing forward in this, or is she facing a different direction?
She's looking over her shoulder.
What about on page 3? What are we looking at page 3 that appears to be at about 20 seconds into the video?
We are looking at Fatima, and it appears to be them running.
Is that past that same campus expectation sign we've been talking about?
Yes, it is.
Showing you page 5 of that same exhibit. What are we looking at on page 5?
Mrs. Ali walking up towards the front of the school.
Page 6. What are we looking at page 6?
Mrs. Ali in front of the campus expectation sign.
Is that at approximately 2:19 into this video?
Yes.
Okay. And is that on page 7 of this exhibit at about 2:22 into this video? Is Mrs. Ali still featured?
Yes, she is.
And page 8 at 2:24, is Mrs. Ali still present?
Yes, she is.
Showing you State's Exhibit 11. What is State's Exhibit 11?
That's THS camera 17-3 in the office. Or sorry, outside of the office, front of the school.
And page 1, what are we looking at?
We are looking at Fatima entering and there's students present and the admin that were there that day along with the teacher in the top right corner.
Okay, and is that the same grouping that we were talking about before with Mr. Dean? And at the upper, just left of center in the top hand side, who do we see there?
Fatima, and behind her is I.
Moving to page 4. What are we looking at on page 4?
Mr. Running to the front office.
Okay, and that's over here on the left-hand side, upper left-hand side where my finger is. Is that where that office, those front doors to that office?
Yes.
Okay. And page 6 at about 45 seconds in to this video, who, if anyone, is depicted in this screenshot?
Mrs. Ali in the upper left-hand corner.
Thank you. States Exhibit 111. And what is this one again?
THS camera, 15 office shots.
And what are we looking at on page 1?
We are looking at the front office and Miss there, and it looks like Fatima third.
Okay, and we're at about 10 seconds in, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And this video is about 3 minutes and 16 seconds.
Yes.
Is it hard to see from where you are?
It is.
Okay. And at 11 seconds, still page 2, same individuals depicted, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Page 3, what is Miss Kinley doing in page 3 at about 12 seconds in?
Miss Kinley is leaving her desk area to come around to Fatima.
Looking at page 4 at 15 seconds. Can you identify who? I know it's a little blurry. Can you identify who these individuals are now?
So Miss.
And when you said Miss West is the individual up here in the top right-hand corner.
Yes, that is Miss West.
So Miss Arnold and Miss Robinson would be down or upper left-hand side of this photograph with dark hair. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And States Exhibit 5 showing page 5 of that exhibit. Do you see another student, Isaiah, entered the office by this time?
Yes.
Okay. Moving to page 7 of that exhibit, and we're at 46 seconds. Do you recognize anyone else having entered the office at this time?
Yes, Mrs. Ali has entered the office.
And at 49 seconds, page 9, do you see Mrs. Ali on this page?
Yes, she's in the left-hand side.
Okay, is that this individual over here on the left-hand side?
Yes.
And you previously described a set of double doors. Are those the double doors? Is that the location of those double doors?
Yes.
And then States Exhibit 112. What is that? What is that, Your Honor, or Ms. Waltmeyer?
THS camera 16.
And page 1. Again, what are we looking at in page 1?
This is outside of the building on the side of the office, and in this picture as Miss Ali.
And
Ali.
is that her here coming towards the school?
Yes.
And that's at about 20 seconds into that video. Is that correct?
Yes.
Page 2, actually, page 3. Who is this individual?
Well, okay.
That you said went into the gymnasium.
Those are the doors that go into the side of the office.
Okay. And then these doors here go to where?
Those go into the commons and right next to the office, the front office.
Okay. Thank you.
For the record, Ms. Stone first pointed to doors that are on the upper left of this exhibit, and then the next doors that she pointed to were at the bottom right of the exhibit.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then page 7 of this exhibit at about 1:12 into this 1 minute and 35 second video, what is depicted here? We'll zoom out a little bit.
Mr. talking to Mrs.
And was Mr. D, I don't want to say, did he give the trespass letter, but was he aware of the trespass that she was not supposed to be there as well?
Yes.
Okay. I don't believe I have any further questions, Ms. Wolfmeyer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kading, cross-examination. Yes. Actually, I think now is a good time for us to take our morning recess. I'm going to have the bailiff come forward, take you back to the jury room for about a 15-minute break. Thank
Y'all
you.
can go ahead and take your break because she needs to cough, and she needs to cough. So go take a break, get you a drink, get your coughing under control, ma'am, because we're not about coughs. All right, bring in the jury and go straight back.
And you may return to the stand.
Ms. Waltermeyer, this was a picture of what you
can't see the
described as
picture.
Mr. Ollie's truck, and that was parked about right there, top center. Right there, top center, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And this was at, according to the timestamp that I'm reading, 9 minutes, 29 seconds. It's kind of hard to read on there, but that's the time that's down in the corner, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Your Honor, if I may publish page 4.
Yes, and you have permission to publish whatever from that particular exhibit.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then Ms. Waltermeyer, this page 4 is where the truck starts moving. This is at 11:20, approximately, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then the following still on that, the truck has moved.
Page number.
I'm sorry, page 5.
Thank you.
Page 5, the truck has moved over to the far left top of the screen there. Is that right?
That is correct.
And that appears to be pulling into a parking spot.
That is correct.
Okay. And now, if I may show you previously admitted Exhibit 29, Your Honor, may I publish 29?
Okay.
This is a picture from October 18th. It's previously been admitted. This over here is near the intercity transit bus stop on the top center right. Is that correct? Does that look familiar to you?
That is familiar. That looks correct.
All right. And the truck that we previously saw in the other exhibit, does that look like the same parking spot that it pulled into from Exhibit 106?
That looks the same.
Okay. And I'm taking that one off, and Your Honor, may I publish previously admitted Exhibit 89?
Yes.
And this is just a different angle. We can see this is on the 18th, 221. The truck here in the left side of the screen, is that the truck? Same truck? Does it look the same to you?
It looks the same. Yes.
In the same parking spot, essentially, right? Hasn't
Yeah.
moved.
Yes.
All right. And then this right here, that's the reader board on the right side in the middle, the reader board for Timberline High School, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry. This angle, it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, I know. That's right there. We can kind of see it. And then, so this tree, which is it's a beautiful tree right in the middle, that's near the bus stop. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. O'Leary, cross-examination.
Good morning, Ms. Waltermeyer.
Good morning.
So I thank every witness for being here. And that's what
Excuse me.
Ms. Stone was referring to at the start when she said that she was going to beat me to the punch. So I am grateful that you are here and grateful that you came back for a second day. How was your summer?
It's been short.
So as administration, do you get the full block or do you get the privilege of working over the summer as well?
We have to take time off during the summer, but I like to use that for a couple weeks in July.
Fair enough. All right. So I want to start with if I may publish Exhibit 89 that was just up.
You may.
So this is the picture that you just showed with a very large tree in the middle. And you confirmed that it appears to be Mr. Ali's truck on the left-hand side of the screen. Is that correct?
Yes.
And do you recognize the person walking toward the camera next to the truck?
That appears to be Mrs. Ali.
Okay. Now, if I may publish Exhibit 114.
You may.
Video. Thank you. Okay, so just to orient the jury, so we are looking toward Mullen Road, is that correct in this?
Yes.
And this is this camera like on a light post from the looks of it?
Yes.
All right. And we see somewhat of the aftermath of chaos at the end of school day, correct? Lots of cars appear to be picking up students, and either students driving or parents driving.
Yes, that would be correct.
And it's pretty typical afternoon.
Yes.
And school gets out around 2 o'clock, correct?
Yes.
And there's no, as Mr. Kading asked you, so there's nothing on this timestamp that tells us when this recording is, correct?
No, not on the video that you have.
But we can kind of have a common understanding, correct? This is, and you looked for specific times, correct? On videos. Like when you went to pull the video, you were looking, or you tell me, how, when you pull video, when you pull up a video, do you know what time it is being recorded on your computer?
Yes.
And how do you know that?
So I can search by date and time,
Okay.
and then narrow down to the camera that I would like to access.
Okay. So you know that there was a report of an incident at the bus stop after school had gotten out on October 18th, 2024, correct?
Yes.
And so your part of your search parameters would have been presumably 1:45 to sometime after that. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. And that's what we're looking at here, correct?
Yes.
So even though it doesn't say the date and time on this, you are confident that what we are looking at is from October 18, 2024 after school, correct?
Yes.
And I don't mean to be a trick question. I'm just making sure that we're all on the same page, okay? Now, we are at 0000 on this, correct? So this is the very start of the exhibit, right?
Correct.
And if we look at the very top, we can see the very bottom and front of a bus. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that is an inner city school bus that has a stop in front of the school, correct?
Correct.
All right. And in this picture, we do not see the Honda Element that you previously identified Mrs. Ali and her daughter Haneen, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to hit play. And I'm stopping it at 10 seconds. And at the top, you could see the bus travel on Mullen Road, correct?
That's correct.
And it's kind of hard to see, but it appears to stop at the bus stop that's somewhat shielded by the trees. Is that fair?
Yes, that's fair.
Okay. I also want to talk about the video system. So the school has an exceptionally large number of cameras, correct?
Yes.
And how long is the recording saved?
For 30 days.
Okay. And are they running 24 hours a day?
They're running by motion 24 hours a day.
Okay. So if I took a video with my cell phone, it would be smooth motion, right? And probably a higher quality video, correct?
Correct.
This is a very clear video, correct?
Yes.
But it kind of is jolty, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And if my limited knowledge of video, I'm assuming that in order to save space, it's not as taking as high resolution or as, it's just taking fewer shots in order to save large volume. Is that fair?
I don't know
Well,
the answer to that.
If we're watching this, and let me just, it's at 12, and if we just watch the move, I'm hoping that red van is moving. So at 10 seconds, and I'm stopping at 15. So we just watch 5 seconds of that van moving, and it's kind of jolty, correct?
Yes.
The video shows the van being jolty, correct?
Yes, it does.
But I think we can assume that the van is actually moving continuously, but the video is just kind of not as clear. Is that, do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
Yes, it's jolty when it's at real time.
Okay. And so, just so I think we're all on the same page, that van presumably moved continuously through the parking lot, but the video shows it kind of stopgap moving. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. So starting again at 15 seconds, this is exhibit 114. And we now see the arrival of the Honda Element, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, I wasn't paying close attention, so I'm going to rewind. I stopped it at 17 seconds. And I'm going to go back and just so have you pay attention to where the element came from. So I'm back at 0, and I'm just going to hit play again.
Mm-hmm.
So we see the bus, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And at about 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds, we see the element come in from Mullen Road, correct?
That is correct.
And it took a left into the parking lot, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now I stopped it at 21, and I'm going to rewind again. And it appears to me that Mrs. Ali gets out of the passenger seat. If you could confirm that when we're watching, and let me know if you agree. Stopping it at 23. Are you able to tell?
Yes, it appears that that's Mrs. Aliette getting out of the passenger seat.
Okay. So then she walks across kind of a nature bark area dividing the different parts of the parking lot, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And then I'll have you describe her path. Starting up the video again.
So she walks through the roadway. Well, it looks like she's running
Okay.
through the parking lot towards the bus.
And we're stopping at 38 seconds. And did you also see her daughter Haneen follow her as well?
Yes.
Okay. And that was another example of kind of the stopgap. Presumably she's running in a continuous motion, but the video shows stopgap. Fair?
Yes, that's
Okay.
fair.
All right. Now, if we go back to exhibit 89, and I can pull it up if you need to, where she was standing next to the truck. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Does that show her, is that path consistent with where she is running and where that truck was parked? And I will hit play at 38.
Yes, that would be consistent to where they're running and where
Okay.
the truck was parked.
So I'm not going to play a whole series of videos, but for you, but one would have the ability, have you seen the video from the bus?
No.
Okay. So you can then look at things from that bus and from this video and kind of put the pieces together. Would you agree?
If I had seen it, yes.
If you had seen it, right.
Yes,
Okay.
I'd be able to put it all together.
And that, as far as we know, that this is an accurate capturing as to what happened as the bus pulled up and what happened in the parking lot. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. Okay, so now I want to take a couple steps back and talk about some of your testimony from yesterday. Let me just take this down. So as the assistant principal, kind of what fills your plate? And I assume you wear multiple hats.
Yes.
And so kind of top 5, top 10, what's obviously you work probably hand in hand with Mr. Dean, correct? Principal Dean?
Yes, absolutely.
And so I'm sure there are things that you share and it kind of depend on who's in the building, but kind of what is your primary responsibilities?
Well, safety of the school. I work with students on discipline, behavior, attendance. I evaluate teachers. I do professional development for teachers. I'm out supervising students during passing and lunches, walking around talking with students and staff.
Okay. Are there multiple assistant principals?
There's one other assistant principal at Timberline High School.
Okay. And what's the average student population at Timberline?
About 1,300.
1,300?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ms. Stone, kind of at the initial start of yesterday's testimony, talked about whether you've had students who are runaways, and you said yes. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And whether or not the school would notify the parents, and your answer was that as a policy, you're not going to notify the parents that the student is at school and a runaway, correct?
I don't believe that was my testimony yesterday.
Okay, I thought she said that, asked you, do you report to the parents if the child is a runaway?
We would report to, if it was reported to us, we would report to law enforcement that the student was there.
Right. So my question was would you report to the parents?
We would if the parent notified us. Usually it's law enforcement that notifies us.
Okay. I asked a poorly worded question, so let me start again.
Okay.
Student comes to school and says, I'm running away. I don't want to go home. Is the school going to call the parents and say, your child is here? I understand he or she may have run away, but I want you to know that your child is at school. Would you tell the parents? And I thought your answer was no, but if I'm wrong, let me know.
There's multiple reasons where we wouldn't, like if there was a safety concern for that student, if a student is expressing that they don't want to go home, they don't feel safe to go home, something happened, we are going to call CPS and or law enforcement, whichever would be most appropriate, or both sometimes, and have them intervene and take it over at that point.
Okay. So I think we're on the same page. So you're not going to notify the parents unless the child says, yeah, you can let mom and dad know I'm okay, but you're not going to immediately pick up the phone and say, just so you know, your runaway child is at school, correct?
Not completely correct. I think it's dependent on scenarios that's happening with the student and what they're saying.
Okay. And then yesterday you talked about you would reach out to CPS, and you just repeated right now, you would reach out to CPS and to law enforcement if the child student expressed safety concerns, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to 2 o'clock on October 18th, 2024, the school didn't contact law enforcement or CPS on behalf of Fatima Ali, correct?
I was not at work that day.
Okay. So you have no knowledge of that happening.
I have no knowledge of that happening.
Okay. So then if we go back from October 18th, you talked about an incident that occurred on September 16th, 2024, correct?
Yes.
And that involved Isaiah
Yes.
and Mrs. Ali, correct?
Correct.
And you became aware of that and asked Mrs. Ali to come into school the next day, correct?
Yes.
And how was that meeting set up?
I believe Haneen came to school middle of the day to pick up Fatima, and Officer Howard and I walked out and told Haneen that Fatima needed to stay at school and that we needed mom to come.
Okay.
And then we arranged a meeting for the end of the day.
Okay. And so end of the day, so sometime after 2 o'clock.
I believe so, yes.
And apparently that message was conveyed because then mom did come, correct?
Correct.
And I think you said previously you had not met Mrs. Ali prior to September 17th, correct?
Correct. Not formally, no.
Okay. And that meeting took place in your office?
Yes.
And school resource officer Howard was present for the meeting?
Yes.
Anyone else present?
Mrs. Ali and then eventually Haneen.
And how long did that meeting last, roughly?
I think in total, probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour, because we waited for Haneen to arrive.
Okay. So how much was the discussion initially before she asked for Haneen to be present?
Like how many minutes?
Yeah, I mean, was it
You can't ask.
Sorry.
questions. That's okay. If you don't understand a question, you can say that.
approximately how many minutes? Was there much conversation before there was the request to have Haneen present?
Probably 10 or 15 minutes had elapsed.
And then there's a period where there's no talking while you're just waiting for Haneen?
We had chatted about Fatima and Mrs. Ali's overall concerns about academics. And
Okay. Was it limited to academics, or was there other concerns that she expressed as well?
she expressed concerns about, or she was saying that there was an incident prior at the house over the weekend
Okay.
that happened, and was telling us about that.
Okay. And who was involved in the weekend incident?
Objection at this point, Your Honor. Say sustained.
So we have seen the trespass order that was written by you, correct?
Correct.
And that was what was handed to her at that meeting. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so you had typed that up in advance?
Yes.
And you had asked Officer Howard to be present to kind of hand it over to Mrs. Ali, correct?
Yes.
And at this point, there wasn't a criminal investigation that was taking place with Mrs. Ali, correct?
No.
So
Sorry, not that I was aware of.
Right. So
Yeah.
Officer Howard was there to formally, here is the trespass order. I'm handing it to you. But Officer Howard, wasn't there to do a criminal investigation.
When I took the report on the 16th from the I notified Officer Howard that there possibly could be is the Williams family. And so she was aware, which is why she was present.
Okay.
I believe I asked Officer Howard to reach out to Isaiah. Conversation separate with them, but she was present with me to discuss the no trespass and discuss with Miss Ali what that meant and why it was there and kind of the incident that happened, knowing that Isaiah got it.
Okay. And so going into that, the decision had already been made that she was going to be trespassed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So in the letter, there was nothing discussed about an appeal, correct? And I can get the letter if you want to take a look at it.
I believe that you're correct.
Here we go. Okay. Your Honor, may I approach and show the witness 121?
You may.
Thank you. If you need to reference it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the purpose of the meeting wasn't to talk to her to get her version of the events, correct? Or why she did what she did. Agreed?
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. And there was no, and confirming, there's no appeal option, correct?
Objection, I guess, to relevance at this point.
Overruled.
You can answer.
There's no listed appeal process on this other than if you have questions, please contact me at this phone number, contact the school at this phone number.
Okay. And that letter as written says that she can't go to Timberline High School, correct?
Yes, correct.
Can't step foot on North Thurston High School, correct?
North Thurston School properties,
Right.
correct,
So
yeah.
any elementary school, middle school, any high school, correct?
That would be correct.
District offices, correct?
Yes,
And that would include events at the school, correct?
yes, that would
So
include that.
sporting events, correct?
Yes,
Music and art performances, correct?
correct,
Graduations,
correct.
and there's no time limit on it. This isn't 6 months, 12 months, correct?
That is correct.
So if she eventually has grandchildren and this order hasn't been lifted,
Objection to relevance at this point. Your Honor.
Sustained.
okay. So that is handed to her on the 17th, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And that was a decision that you had made by yourself, correct? You testified to that, right?
Yes.
You were the one that made the decision, correct? Okay.
correct.
So then on the 18th, she makes an application to have her daughter transfer to North Thurston, correct?
I don't know if she made the application there. I think she got the denial letter at that point.
Okay. Do you know when the request was made?
I don't,
And do you know why it was denied?
due to space for that grade level.
Um,
I believe it was due to space for that grade level.
and I assume that in certain circumstances, exceptions can be made, correct?
Yes,
Did you speak to the district officials about her request to have Fatima transfer to North Thurston?
Yeah. So when there's an appeal, I believe Miss Ali appealed to the assistant superintendent, and that Miss Scrubs reached out to me about that appeal.
And were you supportive of the transfer?
I wanted Fatima to stay at Timberline High School.
Okay.
That was my preference. So I guess the answer would be no.
So we heard discussion yesterday about your concerns about Haneen and her ability to talk to adults, correct?
Haneen?
I'm sorry, not Haneen, Fatima.
Yes.
Take a step back, right? So concerns about where she was going to school, correct?
Yes,
All right, and we're talking about Fatima.
Yeah.
And one of the things you said is I'm concerned about her access to adults, correct?
I did. Yes.
Okay. And Mrs. Ali's first request was not to go to online school, correct?
Yes.
And it was to transfer her daughter to a school. North Thurston, as I'm sure these jurors know, is very similar, if not equivalent to Timberline in terms of online or in-person school, correct?
That would be correct.
Large student body?
Yeah, the same as Timberline.
Okay. And the same academic and general offerings as Timberline would provide, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And so then school district denies it initially, you said, correct?
This
Took the transfer to North Thurston.
North Thurston High School, whoever does their transfer request denied it. Yes.
So then, and then the appeal, you provided input on the appeal, correct?
Yes.
All right.
And placement.
And so then after there was the discussion about going to Summit Online School, did you revisit the issue of North Thurston?
No, we didn't revisit North Thurston because they didn't have space. My recollection of that is that we didn't revisit North Thurston. We were visiting, looking at Envision Career Academy instead of Summit.
Okay. But mom decided that she didn't like that option
And chose Summit.
and chose Summit.
Yeah.
But her first pick was North Thurston, which would have addressed the concerns that you had, correct?
Yes, I guess it would.
Finally, on the videos where we see Mrs. Ali in the office, you would agree with me that she is in the office for a short period of time, correct?
On October 8th, sorry.
Correct, on October 18th. Yeah. And that we don't have sound, but presumably she's told to leave, correct?
Yes, correct.
And she then appears to leave on her own, correct?
Yes,
And then is seen on the sidewalk, and then we see Mr. Dean and one or two other individuals approach her, correct?
correct.
And then she appears to have a conversation with them and then leaves again from the area, correct?
Correct.
And we know that when she went into the office, it was moments after her daughter had run into the school, correct?
Yes, correct.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Ms. Stone, redirect.
Miss Waltermeyer, I think just one, maybe two questions. You have expressed that you wanted to keep Fatima at Timberline High School. Why is that? Why did you want to keep her at Timberline High School?
Because she has people that she knows there, her friends are there. She has teachers that she knows and trusts, her counselor she knows and trusts, the mental health counselor that she knows and trusts. There's just a lot of adults, including front office staff, that knew her and that she could go to for a snack, or if she needed to talk to somebody, or if she had whatever need, or if she needed academic help. So.
And those are relationships, is it fair to say, that she had built over the course of that 2-ish years that she had been there?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that if she went to North Thurston High School, she would not have those same relationships and built up of time to create those relationships she had at Timberline?
That would be fair.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Kading, any further or any recross?
I know you're on.
Mr. Larry, recross? All right, and may this witness be excused?
Yes, please, John.
Any objection, Mr. Kading?
No, you're on.
Mr. Leary? You are excused. You may step down. You can leave that there. You are free to go or stay in the courtroom however you so desire. Thank you. Mr. Leary, if you could come forward and retrieve the exhibit and return it to the clerk, please. And while Mr. Leary is doing that, Ms. Zoe, you may call the next witness.
Yeah, that's hard on a teen. I'm not gonna lie. I did it to my daughter. I was going through my own mental shit. Not even gonna joke around with that. I was going through my own stuff, and I put my daughter through hell during her teenage years, moving her around school, and even junior high and high school. And I think that had a lot of effect on her. And I do have many regrets from that. It was a lesson learned, and it's hard on the teenager when you take them out of what is their daily normal. So, yeah. I said you learn from your mistakes and you move on. You learn to live life.
Normally, my mom drops me off at school.
Ooh.
morning. Do you sometimes, do you normally get to?
Okay, well, they just jumped right into this person, and we
How
don't.
do you normally get to school each morning?
Normally, my mom drops me off at school.
Okay.
I don't know
Do
who
you
this is.
sometimes take the inner city transit bus?
Only to go home.
Okay, to go home in the afternoon?
Yes.
Okay. And the inner city transit bus, are there any of those bus stops by Timberline High School?
Yes, there's two of them.
And where are they located?
One of them is right in front of the school, and then the other one is directly across the street from the school.
And which bus stop do you use to go home?
The one that's across the street.
Okay. And Noah, do you know someone by the name of?
I do. That's my friend.
Okay. And how long have you been friends with Isaiah?
Since my freshman year.
Okay. And do you know someone named?
Yes, I do. That is Isaiah's friend.
Okay. And when you and Isaiah first became friends during your freshman year, had you met Fatima at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know whether Fatima and Isaiah were dating at one point?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ever go to school with Fatima?
Yes.
And what school was that?
Timberline.
Okay. And Noah, do you know whether at some point did Fatima stop going to school at Timberline?
Yes, Fatima stopped going to our school at one point.
Okay. I'm going to ask you some questions about October 18th of last year. Did you go to school that day?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And while you were at school, did you see Isaiah that day?
Yes.
And did you see Isaiah throughout the course of the school day, or did you just see him at the end of the day?
I saw him throughout the day.
Okay. And did you also see Isaiah at the end of the day?
Yes.
And when you saw Isaiah at the end of the school day, did you talk to him?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And when you talked to Isaiah, did that conversation take place inside the school building, outside, at the gymnasium? Where did that conversation?
Initially, our conversation took place inside the school.
Okay. You said initially. At some point, did you guys continue that conversation somewhere else?
Yes, we continued the conversation at the bus stop after school.
Okay. And did you and Isaiah walk to the bus stop together?
No, I walked there by myself.
Okay. And when you first got to the bus stop, was Isaiah already there?
No.
Okay. What about Fatima? Was she already there?
No.
And then at some point while you were at the bus stop, did Fatima and Isaiah show up?
Yes.
Okay. And after they showed up at the bus stop, did you talk to Isaiah again?
Yes.
Okay. And while talking to Isaiah, did you at some point start looking at a truck that had pulled into the student parking lot?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see somebody getting out of the truck?
Yes.
Okay. And the person that got out of the truck, was it a male or a female?
A male.
Okay. And after the male got out of the truck, where did he go?
He walked up to me, Isaiah, and Fatima.
Okay. And after at the bus stop?
Yes, at the bus stop in front of the school.
Okay. And after the male walked over to the bus stop, did he start talking to anybody?
Yes, he started having a conversation with Fatima.
Okay. And when the male was speaking with Fatima, at that time, did you know who that male was?
Yes, I knew that was her father.
Okay. And how did you know that was her father?
Because Isaiah told me it was Fatima's dad.
Okay. And when Fatima's dad was talking to her, were they speaking in English or were they speaking in a different language?
They were speaking Arabic
Okay.
and they were speaking English.
I'm sorry, you said they were speaking in Arabic and in English?
Yes.
Okay. And then while Fatima's dad and her were talking, did you at some point say something to her dad?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you say?
I told him, sir, inshallah, they love each other.
Okay. And inshallah, what language is that?
That's Arabic.
Okay. And do you know Arabic yourself?
Only a little bit.
Okay. And why do you know a little bit of Arabic?
Because I've taught myself some Arabic sayings.
Okay.
Oh,
Then,
what a good
and
kid.
what does inshallah mean?
Inshallah means God willing.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
God willing.
And you said inshallah, God willing in Arabic, and then you said they're in love. Did you say they're in love in English or in Arabic?
In English.
Okay. And when you say they're in love, who are you referring to?
Isaiah and Fatima.
What a sweet friend. Oh, I want to
And
hug
when you said
him.
that to Fatima's father, did he say anything to you in response?
No.
Okay. And what, if anything, did he do in response?
All he did was look me in the eye.
Okay.
And then at some point, well, let me ask you this question. While this was happening at the bus stop, were there anyone else at the bus stop?
Bless his heart, he's all fidgety. Oh.
And the many people around you all, were they students? Were they adults?
There was many students around us.
Okay, and did you recognize any of the students?
Yes.
And who did you recognize?
Hush, Lola. We're in court. Be quiet. We're in court. Shh.
And then at some point, did you see the IT bus pulling up to the bus stop?
Yes.
Okay. And when the IT bus started pulling up to the bus stop, what did all the students do?
I start walking towards the bus
Okay.
so that they can get on.
Okay. And you mentioned the students started walking towards the bus. Did Fatima and Isaiah do the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. And when Fatima started walking towards the bus, what did her dad do?
He grabbed her.
Okay. And then after he, how did he grab her?
She had a bag on her shoulder and he grabbed her shoulder. And she tried to resist and she ended up going down.
Okay. And then when she went down, you mentioned she went down. Are you referring she went down to the ground?
Yes.
Okay. And after she went onto the ground, did her dad stay upright or did he end up on the ground as well?
I don't remember.
Okay. At some point, do you remember whether if Fatima's dad ended up on the ground?
Yes, he ended up on the ground after he punched Isaiah in the face.
Okay. And then after he ended up on the ground, did you see what, if anything, he was doing to Fatima?
No, not after he ended up on the ground, because he started to get restrained by a man who had got out his car.
Okay.
And
okay. And then when Fatima ended up on the ground, and then at some point her father ended up on the ground, where did all the other students go? Did they get on the bus or did they go somewhere else?
some of the students walked up to Fatima and her dad to try to help and get her out from underneath him and all the people that were trying to grab her and help her get up.
Okay. And were you one of the students that sort of got involved in what happened on the ground?
No.
Okay. And at some point, did you walk away from the bus stop?
Yes.
And where did you go?
I crossed the street
Okay.
to the other bus stop.
Okay. And then you indicated you crossed the street to the other side of, you crossed the street to the other bus stop. At some point, do you remember if any Fatima's other family members show up?
Yes, her mom and her sisters showed up after.
Okay. And how did you know that the two women that showed up after were Fatima's mom and sister?
They identified themselves as her family by going for her father and then going and trying to get involved in the situation when she was on the ground.
Okay. And when Fatima's mom and sister showed up, as they were getting to the scene, did you hear them yelling anything?
Yes.
And what were they yelling?
It sounded like they were yelling Baba for Fatima's father.
Objection is a compound question as to what they were saying. Here's the objection.
Sustained as a form of the question.
Okay. And when you and Noah, when Fatima's mom showed up to the scene, did you hear her yelling anything?
Yes.
And what did you hear her yell?
Baba.
And do you know what Baba means?
Father.
And is that in Arabic as well?
Yes.
Okay. And then at some point at one of the, so you testified that Fatima's mom and her sister showed up. At some point, either her mom or her sister end up on the ground as well.
Yes.
And who ended up on the ground?
Her mom.
Okay. And when Fatima's mom ended up on the ground from across the street, were you able to sort of see what her mom was doing?
Yes.
And what was she doing?
It appeared like she was had her arms wrapped around Fatima's body.
Okay. Was it which part of her body were you able to see?
Her upper torso.
Okay. And Noah, did you, while you were standing across the street, did you also take a video of what you had observed?
Yes.
Okay. Grant our permission to approach the witness.
You may.
Noah, I've handed you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 133. Do you recognize that thumb drive?
Yes,
And do you know what is contained on the thumb drive?
the video that I took.
Okay. And did you have a chance to watch that video prior to coming into the courtroom?
Yes,
And does it accurately depict your observations of what was occurring at the bus stop?
yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state offers for admission to evidence Exhibit 133.
Any objection, Mr. Keating? Mr. Larry?
There.
133 shall be admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
And Noah, I stopped the video at 0013 seconds. Prior to this, what were you videotaping?
The only thing that I was videotaping was what I could see from across the road.
Okay, and what were you seeing across the road at that time?
I was seeing Fatima on the ground and her family members around her struggling, trying to get her up. I don't understand. All the students were in there trying to restrain her father and get her up off the floor.
Okay. Playing the video again. Stopping again at 21 seconds. And Noah, you testified that while you were across the street that you had observed Fatima's mom on the ground with her. Is by the time that you're videotaping this, is her mom already on the ground with her?
Yes.
Okay. Starting again.
So there is video of mom, Miss Ali, with her arms wrapped.
You gotta let go of her. You gotta let go. Let go of her,
Oh,
man.
snap.
And
I
I'm
didn't
stopping
realize there
this
was video
at,
of this.
48 seconds. Noah, we hear you say, well, let me ask you this. Whose voice do we hear in the video?
That's my voice.
Okay, and we hear you in the video saying, you got to let go of her. Who are you referring to? When you said you got to let go of her?
They had to let go of Fatima.
Okay, were you referring to her mom or her dad?
Her mom.
Her mom, okay. You're under permission to approach the witness.
You may.
Noah, I've handed you with some marked as State's Exhibits 134 to 140. If you could look through them and then let me know when you're done looking through them.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Okay, I'm done.
And do you recognize those exhibits 134 to 140?
Yes.
And what are they?
They're screenshots of the video that I took.
Okay. And do those screenshots accurately depict your observations of the scene from across the street?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state offers for admission to evidence exhibits 134 to 140.
Mr. Kading, any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Larry?
Here.
134 through 140 shall be admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Noah, I am showing you exhibit 134, and you see this on the TV screen.
Yes.
And can you, the thing we see at the bottom, the runner, is that sort of the, is that associated with the timing of the video that you took?
Yes, that shows the seconds.
Okay. And then I'm going to zoom in a little. Wait for it to adjust. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions. The person with the beige colored backpack that is in the middle towards the left portion of this picture, who is that? Then the person here that I'm pointing that is wearing all black with the headdress, standing next to a person with a blue jacket in the middle towards the right of the photo. Who is that? And exhibit 135. Can you tell I'm going to ask you a few more questions on this. The person that we see sitting on the ground, that is at the middle towards the bottom portion of this image, who is that? Exhibit 136. Again, I'm going to zoom in a little. And again, the person that I'm pointing to that is on the ground in the middle now of this image, who is that? And what does it appear? And when you're watching this from across the street, what is she trying to do at this point?
Regain her balance and get back up on her feet.
Okay. And you testified that while you were across the street that you had observed Fatima's mom on the ground with her. Was her mom on the ground with her at this point?
Yes.
Exhibit 137. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And the person that is on the ground in the middle of the image that I'm pointing to right here, who is?
Felt like we need to meet up there just to watch over this guy. Keep an eye on him.
It's unclear. The photo's a bit blurry. The photo's a little blurry.
Okay. Let me zoom out a little bit. Is this more clear now?
No.
Okay.
He said, no, it's not any clearer. I like this kid. I like him.
Standing in front of her in the middle of the image with the curly brown hair. You were standing across the street. We saw the video that you took, and you testified that in the video when you were shouting, you need to get off of her. You indicated you were referring to Fatima's mom.
Yes.
Okay, and the video footage that we took, were you trying to document your observations from across the street?
Yes.
That led to you saying you need to let go of her?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Kading, cross-examine.
They better be gentle with this guy.
Got there before.
They better be nice to this kid.
Yes.
Prior to that moment, had you ever met Mr. Had you ever seen him before?
No.
Okay. Did you see him prior to Isaiah coming up to you?
No.
Okay. How did you become aware through Isaiah that Mr. Ali was there?
When I was at the bus stop, Isaiah walked up to me and he told me Fatima's dad is in front of the school.
Okay. And did he point him out?
No.
Did he say where he saw him? And did he tell you what he would be pulling up in?
Yes, a truck.
In a truck. Okay. And did you eventually see a truck pull up?
Yes.
Okay. How much after you first saw Isaiah did that truck pull up?
I'm not sure.
Can you say it was a matter of seconds or
A couple minutes.
A couple minutes? Okay. So during that time, when Isaiah and Fatima were at the bus stop, were you talking with Isaiah about what could happen?
No.
No. Okay. So he said, watch out, something of that nature.
He told me to look out if Fatima's dad parked.
Okay. All right. And how would you describe Isaiah's demeanor at that time?
Uncomfortable.
Okay. All right. And then just you initially described that her father came and was talking with her.
Yes.
Right? And would you describe that as a calm conversation?
No.
No. How would you describe it?
Emotional.
Emotional. Okay. So did he appear upset?
Yes.
Okay. And did Fatima appear upset?
Yes.
Okay. But they were talking back and forth?
Yes.
For how long?
A few minutes.
Okay. All right. And then you said when the bus came up, Isaiah and Fatima were going to go to get on the bus?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at that moment, you said that her dad reached out and grabbed her shoulder, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see what Isaiah was doing?
Isaiah wasn't next to them when he grabbed Fatima.
He wasn't?
No.
Okay. Where was he?
He walked up after Fatima's dad grabbed her and then tried to help her, and then that's when he got punched in the face.
Okay. And you say by help her, you mean he reached out to grab the dad?
No, he tried to help Fatima get away from her dad.
Okay. So was he pulling on Fatima?
I don't remember.
Okay. How far away were you from that?
I was only standing a couple feet away.
A couple feet. Okay. All right. And then you did talk to the father, though. You said.
I said something to him. Yes, I did.
Okay. Where was Isaiah when you said that?
Standing next to me.
Next to you. Okay. And how far were you from Fatima and her father?
We were all the four of us were standing in close proximity.
Okay. What is close proximity? Is like within 2 feet?
Yes.
Okay. And is that how far away you were when her father reached out to grab her shoulder?
I'm not sure exactly.
Not sure. Okay. All right. And then you saw Isaiah get punched in the face.
Yes.
Right. And at that point, where were you?
The sidewalk.
Okay. And did you stay where you were at that point, or is that when you crossed the street?
Once the situation started to escalate, I crossed the street.
Okay. So you did not stay and get involved in any of that?
No.
Okay. And then you went across the street and we saw your video. So when you went across the street, was the bus still there?
No.
No.
Yeah. The bus driver got out and started to look and see if there was something he could do. So you couldn't see the bus driver in my video.
Okay. All right. But was the bus still there in your video, or had it already left?
I don't remember.
Okay. So just to clarify then, after Isaiah was punched, did you see Isaiah after that?
No.
You didn't see him run over towards her father and Fatima?
No.
Okay. So did you immediately turn around and leave at that point?
No. So after Isaiah got punched in the face, I started to back up. That's why I said that I'm not sure if I was within 2 feet close to them, because I was on the sidewalk. I wasn't in the dirt.
Okay.
Where Fatima's dad was. He was in the dirt. I was on the sidewalk.
Okay. And then Isaiah kind of went backwards towards the bus, right?
No, Isaiah was close to Fatima and her father.
Right. And then he got hit though, right?
Yeah.
And then he went back towards the bus.
No.
No, you don't remember that? Okay. And then, so after that, then you stayed there by the bus for a few seconds, or you left?
I left.
Huh?
I crossed the
You
street.
did at that point. Okay. So you missed quite a bit of activity that was going on across the street.
No.
You didn't miss it. You saw it while you were
Yeah,
walking.
once everybody started to scream, call the police, I crossed the road.
Okay. So that was a few seconds after Isaiah had been punched, right?
No, that was a few seconds after Fatima's dad grabbed her.
Okay. But you didn't see Isaiah get back involved in it.
So people started to yell, call the cops after Isaiah got punched.
Uh-huh. Okay. And so the time frame between the punch and calling the cops was how long?
Maybe a couple minutes.
Is it possible maybe it was just a few seconds?
I'm not sure.
Mr. Leary, cross-examination.
There.
All right, may this, just 1 second. May this witness, well, actually, do you have any redirect? I apologize.
Yes, Your Honor, just a couple of follow-up questions. Noah, when Mr. Kading was asking you questions, he asked you about sort of the amount of time that passed between when Isaiah and Fatima first showed up to the bus stop and then until her father showed up. Do you remember him asking you that?
Yes.
And you indicated that maybe a few minutes had passed. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
When Isaiah and Fatima first got to the bus stop, between that time and when her father first showed up to the bus stop, when you were talking to Isaiah and Fatima when they first got to the bus stop, were you also counting the amount of time that had elapsed
No.
in your head? Okay, so is it fair to say that when you say a few minutes passed, that it was just a guess?
Yes.
Okay, and you also, Mr. Kading asked you about sort of how long Fatima and her father were talking when he first arrived at the bus stop, and you also indicated that maybe a few minutes had passed. When Fatima and her father were talking, were you counting the amount of time that had passed in your head?
No.
Okay, so is it fair to say that was also a guess on the time?
Yes.
And you testify that after Fatima's father grabbed her and then punched Isaiah. Well, let me ask you this. After all that happened, is it fair to say that things escalated very quickly after that?
Yes.
Okay, no further questions.
Mr. Kading, any recross? Any recross, Mr. Leary? All right. May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. Kading? Mr. Leary?
Ooh, we get the headboard. Fast forward. Fast forward.
All right, members of the jury, it's almost noon, and so we're going to go ahead and take our break for lunch. Thank you so
Lunch
very
break.
much for your time and attention this morning. We will be back in the courtroom at 1:30. Thank you.
And we're back, just like that. Zoom, zoom. He's a wedding planner. I'm doing more research. I'm like looking in LinkedIn and stuff, and I there's a lot with his name under LinkedIn, and I can't. And there's like a highway and transportation engineer and a forklift driver in Washington, also in LinkedIn for that name. But they don't have like the people's picture, So that's what I was looking, under LinkedIn, because a lot of times you can find stuff under LinkedIn, but
Please be seated. Members of the jury, welcome back from lunch. We will continue with the presentation of evidence. Ms. Stone, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Say recall Dr. Chavez.
Come
children,
forward, please.
stop.
And you remain under oath.
Oh,
You
look
may
at
be
here.
seated.
Who is
And Ms.
this?
Stone, you may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We brought Officer Chavez back.
Good afternoon, Officer Chavez.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Officer Chavez, you testified a couple of days ago. Do you recall that?
I do.
And do you recall during the course of your testimony discussing that after taking statements from the student witnesses, you ended up speaking with Zahraa and Ihsan Ali? Do you recall that?
I do.
Okay. And do you recall during the course of your testimony indicating that Zahraa Ali had essentially made complaints to you that Isaiah was changing her daughter's mind? And I believe you said that she said he was a danger. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And during the course of that conversation with the two, sometimes Ihsan was speaking, sometimes Zahraa was speaking, and sometimes they were speaking essentially together or over top of each other. Is that an accurate relay of your testimony?
Yes.
And but throughout that course of interaction, you were engaging with them and they were volunteering that information. Do you recall that?
I do, yes.
I believe also during the course of that testimony, and correct me if I'm wrong, you indicated that you didn't see any visible signs of injury to either woman, and they made several statements about what they believed had occurred,
That's correct.
or at least what they wanted you to know had occurred.
Correct.
And then you kind of explained what the manner in which that communication occurred and how responsive they were to directives to you regarding whether they could see or speak with Ihsan Ali. Do you recall that?
I do.
Okay. During the course of these events, do you have a body camera?
I do, yes.
And tell me how that body camera is activated, or how that body camera works, if you will, please, ma'am.
So the body cams that we wear can be activated in a couple different ways. One is manually, where we hit the button. When we arrive on scene, it'll begin recording. The other way is it's activated by a signal. So in my case, for this incident, I was arriving on scene from another location in my patrol vehicle. So when I activated my vehicle's lights and sirens, it automatically started my body cam while I was driving.
Okay. And do you recall exactly how long that body camera footage was of that day in full?
I think it's roughly 50 minutes long. It's fairly long.
Okay. And have you had an opportunity prior to this afternoon to review that body camera?
Yes, ma'am.
When and where did you have an opportunity to do that?
This morning at 8:30 a.m.
Okay. And where at?
At the courthouse here in the meeting room.
Okay. And prior to reviewing that body camera here, did you have an opportunity to review it on your own system to watch the whole 52 minutes prior to testifying?
I did, yes.
Okay. During the course of questioning, do you recall the state asking you questions along the lines of, without repeating anything that Haneen Ali told you, what did Zahraa say to you?
I do remember this, yes.
And so, to be clear, if your body camera captured a video, would that video be with both of them speaking?
Yes.
So when you reviewed the video at the state's office this morning, was some of Haneen's statements redacted out, consistent with the way questions have been asked to you previously?
Yes.
Okay.
You may.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 122. Ask you to look at that silently to yourself for a moment, and then look up at me when you're done, please. Do you recognize what I've handed you?
Yes.
What is that?
It's a USB drive.
And what is that a USB drive of?
It'll be a short video of my body cam footage from the date of the incident.
Okay. And when you say a short video, do you mean it's the portion addressing that conversation about which we've just discussed?
Yes.
Okay. And based on your review of that video, did that appear to be a true and accurate video with those redactions for Haneen's statements where she's speaking essentially on her own?
Yes, it does.
Thank you. At this time, the state would move to admit State's Exhibit 122.
Mr. Kading, any objection?
No, Your
Mr. Leary?
Honor. No, Your Honor.
122 shall be admitted.
Thank you. May I retrieve and publish, Your Honor?
You may.
And playing it. How long is this video, officer? Can you see?
I can see the date at the top. I think it's roughly 4 minutes.
So a little over 4 minutes.
Correct.
Okay. And before I start this video, what is the date time notation at the top? What is the jury looking at here in terms of your body camera?
It's going to be year 2024, October 18th at roughly 2:44 p.m.
Okay. And underneath, are you looking at the upper right-hand corner of the start of this video before it's playing next to the yellow triangle indicator?
I am.
I'm hitting play.
We woke up 5 o'clock in the morning. He keep changing his mind. He thought about them. Go.
Okay, so how did you end up here?
You made me pause for that. Lois, thank you. I appreciate that more than you know. And just because I'm going to tell you who they went to, because I'll make announcements and stuff, because I'm going to be loud like that. Those went to Nancy Callahan, Fanny Pack, Ella Blue, Jersey Joe 1954, and Therapist You Know. Okay. I recognize a couple names too. I recognize the Nancy Callahan and Therapist You Know. I recognize Fanny Pack sounds familiar. No, but thank you, Lois. That is so appreciated. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, back to trial. Oh, look. And there's a good view of sister, mom, and the officer standing at the side. I'm going to back that up just a second because, like, I need to see that.
So when you found her here, what did you do?
Oh. Right? We had a new angle for just a second there. We got to see a little bit of video for just a second there.
They don't punch my husband. Two people are punching him.
She said, 2 people are punching him, my husband.
You know this guy. This guy did that to my daughter.
Something about this guy and my daughter. I couldn't understand what she said.
I got here, your dad was on the ground and was being held down by another
He was getting punched and held down.
He was getting punched and held down? Okay, what was he doing?
His mom, I was holding my sister. He pushed me also. He's trying to get me away, but I was like, back off, don't touch me. He's not letting me speak on touch me. He's not letting me do anything. She's my sister. Why is he doing this? And then they pushed me also me. They pushed my mom. And they yelled me on the floor. And they think my daughter with him and they got him away in the school.
So you're saying he punched her or pushed her?
All of us, all at once, like this, everything. And they pushed me in the front.
He's almost not over there letting his son let him talk to you. He's just not back over there.
The officer came.
Did you see this people? Did you see them doing it?
I'm familiar with the last time when we were out with you guys.
This is better. It's not just my daughter. This is not better.
And you said you were holding your sister.
And I pushed my mom and pushed her onto the ground and take my daughter and run away in the school. Go in the school then.
They took my daughter and she ran away to the school.
Keep on with me. Get off the car. Get off the car. So you said that they took Fatima and put her into the school.
You can't do this. This is just
So, Officer Chavez, to be clear, that's the testimony that you provided consistent before regarding that conversation. Is that correct?
Correct.
And during the course of that testimony, did it become, did Zahraa Ali make it obvious who she believed was the bad person in this event?
She did.
Yeah. And who did she blame that on? Any comments about her husband's actions whatsoever to you?
She did not.
Okay. I'm going to show you what will be State's Exhibit 123 to 132. May I approach, Honor?
You may.
I apologize, they're currently stacked backwards, but I would ask you to look at State's Exhibits 123 to 132 and look up at me when you're done. Do you recognize what I've handed you there in State's Exhibits 123 to 132?
I do.
And what are those?
These are images from my body cam.
And those images from your body cam, does that cover essentially sporadically throughout that entire 52 minutes, or is it just the portion that we watched a moment ago?
It's from when my body cam turns on while I'm en route to the location throughout the whole interaction.
Okay. And in terms of that 52 minutes, is all of that 52 minutes investigatory time? Is it interspersed with other things? How would you describe the entirety of your time on scene, or so to speak, from the time you got the call to the time you departed the scene?
I would say that the commuting time between receiving the call and answering for it and arriving at the scene to be inconsequential, not really part of any kind of investigative step.
Is it fair to say a lot of things happen during the course of a response time on scene that may not be significant in terms of your investigation?
Correct.
Okay. At this time, the state would move to admit states exhibits 123 to 132.
Any objection, Mr. Kading?
No.
Mr. Leary? 123 through 132 shall be admitted.
May I retrieve those and publish them?
You may.
And Officer Chavez, I'm going to first show you publish what has been admitted as states exhibit 123. Just because we're not watching the entirety of the 52 minutes, officer, I just want you to give a sense, please, to the jury of what they're looking at in these photos over the course of the 52 minutes. We'll get it to autofocused. There it goes. So what are we at here? What are we looking at in 123, Officer Chavez?
So this is going to be myself in the driver's seat. I believe this would be right when my body cam had turned on.
Was that identified by the 2 seconds here on the bottom left-hand corner at the start of that elapsed time?
Yes.
Okay. And same date time, is that indicated in the upper right-hand corner of this exhibit?
Correct.
And how much time does it say the total body cam time is, officer? Can you see that?
No, I'm not sure which number that is. You mean at the time, the date?
No, the elapsed time, the length of the body camera.
Oh, 02 seconds.
52:37?
Oh, on that side, yes. The entire length, yes, is 52:37.
Okay. And showing you States Exhibit 124. What are we looking at here?
This is after I've exited my patrol vehicle and I'm approaching the scene.
Okay, and about how much time has elapsed at this point?
4 minutes and 41 seconds.
Okay. And when you say exited your patrol vehicle, just to recap, had you parked your vehicle in the street? Is that what your prior testimony was?
Yes.
Okay. States Exhibit 125. What time are we at on this photograph?
This will be 9 minutes and 21 seconds after my body cam started.
Okay, and do you recall what's happening at this point?
I do, yes.
And what's happening at this point?
This is when I returned to my vehicle to look for witness statement forms.
And were you out of those statement forms?
I was.
Okay. And you testified to that the other day, is that correct?
That's correct.
States Exhibit 126. What are we looking at here?
This is in front of the Timberline High School, roughly near where the IAT bus stop is.
And how much time has elapsed?
20 minutes and 21 seconds.
And maybe a silly question, but who is pictured here on the right-hand side?
No.
Okay. States Exhibit 127. How much time has elapsed at this point?
24 minutes and 52 seconds.
And what are you doing at this time?
This is when I'm repositioning my vehicle from Mullen Road into the parking lot of Timberline High School.
And you testified about that the other day as well, correct?
Correct.
States Exhibit 128. How far are we into the video here?
29 minutes and 34 seconds.
And that 29 minutes and 34 seconds, is that part of the conversation that we just watched in terms of Exhibit 133?
Yes.
Okay. So is that a little over halfway into your time on scene that this conversation occurred?
That's correct.
States Exhibit 129. And what time is this occurring?
This is 35 minutes after my body cam began.
And do you recognize who's pictured here?
Yes.
Who's pictured in this photograph?
The officer that's speaking with the family members is Corporal, and then standing next to him in between myself and Corporal Stanford is Officer Haim.
Okay. Do you recall what was occurring during this period of time?
Yes.
And what was occurring during this period of time?
This is when they were asking to see the husband.
Mr. Ali?
Yes.
Okay. Was Corporal Stanford facilitating that, so to speak?
Yes.
States Exhibit 130. What time are we at here?
51 minutes and 6 seconds.
Okay, and what is pictured or depicted in this still shot?
This would be Ihsan and Zahraa as they're walking away from the officers towards their vehicle.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. What time was that at? I don't recall if I asked you that.
51 minutes and 6 seconds.
States Exhibit 131. What time are we at here?
It's cut off on the screen. 51 minutes and 47 seconds.
Okay, and who's pictured here almost at the dead center of that photograph?
That was Haneen and Zahraa as they were walking back to their vehicle.
Okay. And the very end of your body camera from that day or from this incident, what is depicted here? First of all, what time are we at?
52 minutes and 37 seconds, and that's Corporal.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Mr. Kading, cross-examination. Mr. Leary, cross-examination.
Thank you for returning, Officer Chavez. What was the purpose for you to talk to Zahraa Ali?
Well, I was assigned to go and kind of stand with them, just kind of as a crowd control, make sure that they didn't try to go back into the school to go back into or go to speak to Mr. Ali.
Okay.
While I was kind of standing there, they saw me, approach me, and began to speak to me, so I engaged.
Okay. And it appeared that you were taking notes.
Correct.
Tell me about that process. Why do you take notes?
It's something that I personally do all of the time. I like the tactile reinforcement to help me remember things. So typically I'll have my notebook out anytime that I'm talking with somebody, just in case something relevant comes up or they want me to take something down. I'll have it out there and ready.
Okay. Did you deem anything that they had shared with you relevant?
Just what they had written down, or had written down initially when they were telling me that they were punched and pushed to the ground.
Okay. We saw body-worn video. What is the process for uploading body-worn video?
So at the end of my shift, or if there's a critical incident that occurs, I can dock the camera back at the police station and it'll automatically upload that any footage that was taken throughout my shift.
So if there was if for some reason you never activated your body-worn video during a shift, you would not upload. There would be no video to upload. Fair?
If the camera is not in sleep mode, it automatically buffers every 30 seconds. I believe that a supervisor is able to access that, but it doesn't record full-length videos as the one that was taken that day.
But in this situation, you knew it was activated because lights and sirens in the car automatically activates the body-worn, correct?
Correct.
And so you then, at the end of the shift, would have then docked it to then upload it to a server?
Correct.
Does supervisors routinely review your body-worn video after each shift?
I believe so.
Okay. Whole thing?
I'm not sure.
Okay. You also write supplemental reports, correct?
Correct.
What's the purpose of the reports?
Purpose of the reports to provide any kind of information that may be relevant to the primary officer's report. If we're collecting information from somebody, if we're on scene for an extended duration and interacting with people who are either witnesses or involved parties.
Okay. And so this incident obviously would have qualified for you to write a report, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you did, right?
Yes, sir.
And in that report, you documented talking to Caleb Fisk. Or her daughter.
Correct.
In terms of that she saw her husband being punched in the head repeatedly, correct?
Correct.
That was done by Isaiah Williams. That Isaiah had pushed her off, correct?
Correct.
And no documentation as to her demeanor, correct?
Correct.
So the clip that we saw, video exhibit number 122, we are provided primarily with the answers of Zahraa Ali, correct?
Correct.
But we also know that Haneen did provide information, but that has been redacted, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Zahraa Ali appeared extremely distraught. Agreed?
Correct.
Extremely sad.
Upset.
Worried.
Correct.
Specifically about her daughter, right?
It was difficult to tell.
She talked about, they took my daughter away. Do you remember her saying that?
Yes.
And that she indicated that Isaiah was saying, go, go, go. Correct?
Correct.
She appeared very worried about her daughter, right?
It was my opinion that she seemed more worried about her husband.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
She was talking about her daughter being taken away, correct?
Correct.
And she appeared distraught and sad and worried about that fact. Do you disagree?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
Is there a reason why you didn't include the information provided by Zahraa Ali in your supplemental report?
Yes, sir.
What's that?
Yes, sir.
We told not to?
I wasn't instructed not to. I was instructed to that my primary role at that time was just the students that I had spoken to, and that the primary officer would be conducting interviews with the family members and doing all the follow-up.
Who was the primary officer?
Officer Hain.
Okay. Do you know whether that ever happened?
I don't know. No.
Okay. Did you see that happen on scene?
No, sir.
Doesn't it also make sense to document in case the story's changed?
I suppose so.
Okay. Nothing further.
Redirect.
Thank you. Officer Chavez, Mr. Leary keeps saying, isn't it important to document? And you didn't document, but you did document, correct? You did a supplemental report, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that was pretty lengthy and it described everything that we just reviewed.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was after the fact, fair?
Yes, ma'am.
But you did in fact create a supplemental report contrary to what was just implied by counsel. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And you're not the primary officer. And normally, is it fair to say in the process of doing an investigation, different tasks are laid out to different people?
Correct.
Okay. And you were not the primary officer in this case, correct?
Correct.
Previously, and I want to make sure I understand, Miss Ali, you said seemed upset, but did you notice any tears or anything of that indication?
No, I did not.
And during the course of her presentation to you, she made a lot of statements about what happened to her physically. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did you observe anything on her person consistent with what she was saying to you?
I did not.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. O'Leary?
Nothing further.
You may step down. Thank you. Call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next is Purple Stanford. May I step out in front of him?
Yes. Solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be true and correct.
I do.
Please be seated. Ms. Stone, you may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Corporal Stanford.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
It's Alfred Stanford, Stanford.
And Corporal Stanford, I'm going to ask you to keep your voice up a little bit. You can also pull the chair forward and pull the, yep, perfect. I just want to make sure the court reporter can hear you and the interpreters behind me can hear you as well, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed, sir?
Yes.
How so?
I'm a police officer with the City of Lacey Police Department
How long have you been in law enforcement?
since 2003.
And has all of that been with the City of Lacey?
Yes, it has.
Can you please describe your training and experience in law enforcement, sir?
Well, from the beginning, I graduated from Washington State University with a Bachelor in Art and Criminal Justice in 2003. From there, I was hired by the City of Lacey Police Department, initially as a community service officer. During that time, I received my Reserve Officer commission. And after receiving that commission, I was hired full-time as a police officer with City of Lacey and graduated from the Police Corps Federal Law Enforcement Academy in 2005.
I'm going to slow you down just a little bit,
Sorry
okay?
about that.
I want to make sure that the interpreters can hear you and also translate it, okay? Okay, so after 2005, you graduated, is that what I understand?
That's correct.
What happened next?
I was assigned to the patrol division as a patrol officer. And during that time, also went through training to become a technical collision investigator and a traffic investigator as well. After my tenure during the traffic division, I was promoted to the rank of detective, where I served at that position from 2015 to 2018. After that time, I returned to patrol, and in 2022-21, I was promoted to the rank of corporal, which I currently serve right now.
And what is a corporal? What does that mean?
It's a patrol level supervisor.
And as a patrol level supervisor, what do you do? What's your job, or what does that entail for you?
Job to assist patrol officers with their daily duties and also supervise and provide whatever resources they might need doing their patrol shifts.
Thank you. And were you employed by the Lacey Police Department in October of 2024?
Yes, I was.
And were you working on October 18th, 2024 at approximately 2:15 p.m.?
Yes.
You hesitated.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I worked at that time. I was working swing shift, which starts at 2:20 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning. So during the time that the call you're referencing came out, we were just beginning our patrol shift. So about 5 minutes prior to our actual shift beginning.
Okay. Then you said it to the incident I'm about to talk about. Did you become involved in an investigation then occurring at Timberline High School, located off of Mullen Road in Lacey, Washington?
Yes, I did.
And did you go to that location?
Yes, I did.
About what time did you arrive?
About 2:40, 2:45 in the afternoon.
And what did you observe when you arrived? What did you see first?
When I arrived, there were several patrol cars parked in the Timberline High School parking lot. There were a few students still on scene as well, quite a few patrol officers. There were also Some of the involved parties were also present in the parking lot as well.
Okay, and when you say patrol officers, what officers do you remember seeing, if you recall?
Officer Chavez was present. Officer Bell, Officer Dawes was also present. There was also Officer Heng. He was there as well.
Was there were there any other sergeants on scene when you arrived, if you remember?
Not to my recollection at the time when I arrived.
Okay. Do you recall if Sergeant Newcomb arrived at some point?
Yes, at the time, Sergeant Newcomb did arrive.
Okay. And at that time, were you familiar with the Ali family, specifically Ihsan, Zahraa, and Haneen?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Have you spoken with them before?
Yes, I have.
And who had you spoken with? All three of them, one of them, some of them, or something else?
All three of them in the past.
And in what language had you spoken with all three of them?
In English.
How would you describe the effectiveness of that communication?
Very, very well.
How would you describe your rapport with the Ali family, at least in your opinion?
It was very good. On the prior call for service with them,
I'm just going to interrupt without repeating anything that anyone said or any specific details, just as it relates to the report.
Our rapport is very, very good. We had a good law enforcement, public person relationship, the best way to put it.
Okay. So in this case, based on that report, did you make contact with the Ali family?
Yes, I did.
And where did you make that initial, and I suppose with whom did you make that initial contact?
Mr. Hassan.
And you said Ihsan Ali?
Yes, correct.
And where did you make that contact at?
He was at the rear of a patrol vehicle contacting Officer Heng and one of our community service transport officers.
And the community service officers is short for that, a CSO?
Correct.
Okay. Do you recall who that was off the top of your head?
I don't.
Okay. At some point, did you make contact with Zahraa and Haneen Ali?
Yes, I did.
And where did that contact occur?
That about 25, 30 yards away from where the patrol car was situated in the parking lot.
So was that patrol car in clear view of where they were located?
Yes, it was.
And when you made contact with Ihsan Ali, did he speak with you, or did he make any attempts to speak with anyone else?
He was attempting to yell across the parking lot to either his wife or daughter who were in the vicinity where he was yelling to.
Okay. And when you made contact with Mr. Ali, do you recall if he was offered medical aid?
Yes, he was.
And was that by you or someone else?
It was by Officer Heng at that time.
Did he accept that medical aid or indicate that he needed it?
No, he did not.
Did you, as he was yelling across that parking lot, did you give him any directions or directives regarding those actions?
Yes, I was assisting the other officers with trying to compel him to sit in the patrol vehicle and stop yelling across the parking lot.
And did he follow those directives immediately?
No, he did not.
How many times did you have to tell him to stop yelling across the parking lot?
It was a few times. I don't know the exact number of times, but it was a few times.
Okay. At some point, did he, in fact, stop doing that, comply with your directives?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And following that, did you approach Zahraa and Haneen?
Yes, I did.
And during the course of your interaction with Zahraa, did she demand to see your husband?
Yes, she did.
Did you immediately allow that?
No, I did not.
Why not?
At that time, they were very escalated, screaming, yelling, that sort of thing. And with everybody being so elevated at that time, I wanted them to de-escalate themselves as much as possible prior to having that communication, just because I didn't want to continue or, make the disturbance that, more than already was. So just wanted to kind of calm the situation before allowing that contact.
And when you say they were very escalated, physically, what does that look like? How would you describe what that means to somebody who's not present?
Yelling, screaming, that sort of behavior.
And during the course of your interaction with Zahraa Ali and Haneen Ali, did you see any indications or evidence of any injury to their person or present on either their body itself in terms of what was presented to you or clothing or anything of the like?
It didn't appear so. I didn't see any signs of cuts or bruising. Their clothes didn't seem dirty or disheveled at all.
Okay. And during the course of your interaction with Mrs. Ali, did she indicate that she needed any medical aid or anything like that?
No, she did not.
Did she make other demands of you in terms of seeing her husband or seeing her child?
Yes, she screamed quite a few times that she wanted to speak with her husband. She wanted to speak with her daughter.
Okay. During the course of your interaction with Mrs. Ali, you said she wanted to see her daughter. Did she ask about her daughter's condition?
No, she didn't indicate about condition of her daughter.
And are you familiar with what the runaway process looks like in terms of if a child runs away from home and that gets reported into law enforcement? Are you familiar with what that process looks like in your system?
Yes, I am.
How does that happen? What do you have to do if someone is reported as a runaway?
So generally, when a juvenile is reported by a runaway, an officer will make contact with the guardian or the parent at that time, get the information as far as name, date of birth, that sort of thing. And generally, if the youth comes from a home, you want to go make contact at the home to see if there's any evidence of any other potential crimes, if there's any runaway notes left, or just to check the residence to make sure that the child really isn't on scene, because that happens quite often. People report the children as missing and they're actually on property or in the home. So those are some of the things that we want to verify prior to making those sort of runaway reports.
So then in order for somebody to be listed in the system as a runaway, does the family have to agree for them to be formally listed by filling out paperwork and or providing information to law enforcement specific to that?
Correct, they do.
So they could call in and indicate they believe their child has run away, but not agree, if I understand your testimony, to have them put in the system.
Correct.
And if they're not put in the system, then is there any indication to other law enforcement officers, if they come in contact with them, that is in fact their status?
Only if a attempt to locate is broadcast, but as far as if the juvenile is contacted in another jurisdiction or another state, another city, they're not going to have any information that person's missing.
So a delay in allowing and agreeing to have that information put into the system could in fact create a delay of putting it into the system to notify other law enforcement officers. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Did you have any further role in this case outside of what you've described on scene itself?
No, I did not.
Thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Mr. Kading, cross-examination.
Regarding Mr. Ali, you said he was in the car already?
No, he was not.
He was not. Okay, where was he?
He was standing at the rear passenger side of the vehicle, or the patrol vehicle.
And what about his appearance when you saw him?
He looked, lack of a better word, he looked a little rough. His clothes, I think his clothes were torn and he had some abrasions or dirt on his face.
Okay. And did you talk to other officers about what was going on?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you had an idea?
Yes.
Okay. What time did you arrive?
Sometime around 2:40 in the afternoon.
Okay. And what time did Mr. You know?
I don't know the exact time.
Approximately how long had you been there, do you think, before we left?
25 minutes, maybe half an hour.
Okay, so sometime around after 3 o'clock approximately he left.
Most likely, yes.
Okay. All right, and regarding this runaway paperwork, is that something that gets filled out by the family or by the police who respond?
By the police who respond.
And do you know if that happened in this case?
I don't have any knowledge of that.
Okay. And that was Officer Hang, you said?
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Just 1 second, sorry. And at some point before you left, then you did facilitate a meeting between Ihsan and his wife?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and that happened in the car?
Yes, he was secured in the rear of the patrol vehicle, and she was talked to him through the window.
Okay, and did you ever see the daughter, Fatima?
Did I see her?
Yeah.
Yes, or no, I did not.
Never? Okay. All right, thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Leary, cross-examination.
Afternoon.
Thank you for being here. All right, so my client, Zahraa Ali, had two requests of you. One, to speak to her husband, correct?
Correct.
And the second was to speak to her daughter.
Correct.
You told her that you would allow her to eventually talk to her husband, correct?
Correct.
And you facilitated that.
I did.
And if I heard you correctly, he was in the back of the car and she was allowed to stand outside and have a conversation.
Correct.
Okay. Did you tell her whether she'd be allowed to see her daughter?
No, I did not.
So she made the request, and you just didn't say one way or the other, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay. Was that on purpose?
No, at that time, I was not the lead investigator in the call or the case, and I didn't want to supersede anybody else if they were conducting their investigation with the daughter. So I didn't want to say yes or no and give an incorrect answer, give her false hope.
And did you ever go into the school?
I did not.
And so all of her contact with you was out in the parking lot, correct?
Correct.
And you were there continuously, correct?
Correct.
And you never said to her that you saw her daughter, correct?
Correct.
And never said that you had information as to her condition, correct?
Correct.
So her request wasn't, how's my daughter doing? It was, can we go or can I go to the school? Is that right?
No, it was, can I talk to my daughter? Can I see my daughter?
Okay. All right. In terms of the runaway protocols that you discussed on direct, on 10/18/2024, did you explain that to my client, Zahraa Ali?
No, I did not.
In the previous contacts with her, did you explain that protocol to her?
I believe it was with her husband when.
Well, let's just talk to my client. Did you
Okay.
ever tell my client what the protocols were and what she needed to do?
No, because she didn't make the initial report. Well, do my prior contact.
Okay. All right. Did you have conversations with her previously?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Redirect.
Your prior contact was, did Dad make that report, or did Haneen or somebody else?
The dad did.
And so Dad was familiar with the protocol then, is that fair to say?
Correct.
And as it relates to the runaway being formally entered into the system, is that information that you have to enter into the system based on information provided to you from the family?
Correct.
Do they have to agree then to have that person entered into the system?
They do. Yes.
Okay. So you can't just as a law enforcement officer take a 7 a.m. report that a child has run away from home and then yourself put that information into the system. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Did you tell Miss Ali that you didn't have information about her daughter, or were you just silent on the issue?
Silent on the issue.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Keating, any further cross-examination? Mr. O'Leary? All right. May this witness be excused?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Any objection? Mr. O'Leary? You are excused. You may step down. You are free to go. Thank you. Call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. State call Tracy.
Okay, we're going to go on to our next witness. And the state rests today. I just did a sneak peek, so y'all be ready for that.
You're about to give a veto and correct. Yes. Please be seated. Ms. Stone, you may fire when you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Arnold.
Hello.
Can you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Tracy Arnold, Arnold.
And Ms. Arnold, are you employed?
I am.
How so?
I am employed by the Educational Service District 113 True North.
Okay, and what is your title? What do you do for them?
My title is Student Assistance Professional.
What is that?
I am a addiction counselor and behavioral health counselor.
And can you somewhat briefly explain your education training background?
Yeah. I have a master's degree in behavioral health and a master's certificate in addiction counseling.
Okay. How many years of school is that?
6 years.
Okay. How long have you been working in this profession?
11 years.
Where are you currently located for your job?
I'm located at Timberline High School.
Okay. And where is your office in terms of Timberline High School?
My office is in the front office, the attendant's office.
And
I'm going to have you scoot your chair forward just a little bit so you can push that microphone.
okay. All right. So we want to make sure that our court reporter can hear you to write it down.
Okay.
Also set the interpreters in the back of the courtroom
Okay.
can hear as well. So if you can think about speaking loud to them in the back. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes.
Okay. And were you employed, well, let me back up. You said that you were employed as a student assistance professional. You're located in Timberline High School, but do you actually work for Timberline High School or someone else?
No, I work for True North.
Explain to me what that means.
So my agency contracts with many districts, and so we are contracted with North Thurston Public Schools.
Okay. And so on October 18th, 2024, were you located at Timberline High School?
Yes.
Were you located there within that capacity?
Yes.
And were you at work on October 18th of 2024?
Yes.
What were you doing that day? Describe kind of generally that day for me.
Yeah. So I generally spend my day working with students. I have a caseload of clients that are in my services. I have students that come see me that are not in services, that just know who I am and grab snacks throughout the day. I do individual sessions and assessments.
Okay. And are you familiar with a student by the name of Fatima Ali?
Yes.
Is Fatima on your caseload, or you just know her otherwise?
I do not have her on my caseload, and I never have. I just know her from working at the school and being familiar with other students.
Okay. And when you say working at the school, how do you know Fatima?
I knew Fatima from the year before, 2023-2024 school year. I kind of have odd hours where I work till 5:30 or 6, which is after school. And Fatima and her sister Noor would often stay after school for hours until someone picked them up. And they would often come by my office and I would give them food and snacks until they got picked up.
And you said you're in the front office. If you're in the front office, and do you know where Miss West and Miss Kinley's desks are?
Yes.
Where is your office in relation? If somebody's standing in there looking at their desks, where would your office be?
Okay, so there are 3 doors to the right of the attendance office desk where Miss West and Miss Kinley sit, and I would be the middle door, just to the right behind their desk.
Okay. Do you know of a student by the name of Isaiah?
Did not.
Okay. On October 18th, 2024, as it relates to student Fatima Ali, do you recall any incidents of significance occurring?
Yes.
Without repeating anything that anyone told you, can you please tell the jury what you remember about that day as it relates to that student Fatima throughout the day, as it began before you got to the end of the day?
Okay. I did not see Fatima at all that day. I did not see her until just a couple minutes before the bell rang for the end of the day.
Okay. And where do you see Fatima towards the end of the day?
Well, I often stand outside my office as the bell rings to just see kids off. And I happened to step outside of my office and look to my left, and I could see Fatima standing in front of the principal's office where there's some chairs located.
Okay. Did Fatima appear to have any items with her at the time that you observed?
Yes, she had 2 bags with her.
And how did Fatima look at the time that you saw her, if you recall?
Yeah. She looked a lot thinner than the last time I had seen her. She looked very frail, skinny. She looked scared.
And do you recall when you had seen her prior to that?
Probably in September at some point.
Of that same school year?
Yes.
And at the time that this occurs, how far into the school year are we? Like a month, a couple of weeks, something different?
I think about like 5 or 6 weeks into the school year.
And so what do you do or see next once you see Fatima sitting out there with her bags?
Yes, I looked to my left and I could see Liz Robinson in the office to the right of mine, and she was going through a box of hats.
And what do you mean by a box of hats?
Yeah, we have donations throughout the year where people will knit hats, and we give them away for free at Christmas time to anybody who wants one.
Who is, you said Liz Robinson. Who is Liz Robinson?
She's the school mental health counselor.
And so when you saw Ms. Robinson going through a box of hats, again, without repeating anything that anyone told you, what happened next?
I asked her what was going on.
Okay. And did you have a conversation with her about that?
Yes.
Okay. Based on that conversation, what did you do next?
After she told me what she told me, I walked over to Fatima and gave her a hug and told her if she needed anything, she knew where my office was.
Okay. And then what happened next?
Fatima was putting her hair into that hat, and then she requested a mask to put on her face.
And where did the mask come from?
One of the staff members in the principal office, one of the receptionists or secretaries there.
Okay. Do you know what that secretary's name is?
I believe it was Gina.
Okay. And when you say a mask, what kind of mask?
It's like a blue COVID mask, like made out of paper.
And where did that come from, if you recall?
From the staff member. I believe there's probably a stack of them.
Somewhere in that office?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened after she's given a hat, after she's given that mask? I believe you said she put her hair up into that hat. What happens next?
I turn around and go back to my office.
Okay. And does something additional then happen after you have returned to your office?
Yes.
What happens next?
Liz Robinson came in from outside and stood outside my office with me.
Okay. And are you back in your office now, or are you standing outside of your office?
I'm standing outside my office.
Okay. And so about what time is this?
Probably maybe either 2:05 to 2:15. I'm not quite sure.
Okay. So shortly after school has ended, is that
Yes.
correct? And do you know about how long that time lapse was from saying essentially goodbye to Fatima and Liz Robinson returning?
I would guess maybe 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
But I'm not quite sure.
Do you remember seeing any other students leaving with Fatima at the time she left?
I did not.
Okay. No other students, at least, in the office with her when she was getting the hat or the mask. Is that correct?
Not that I saw.
Okay. So when Mrs. Robinson comes back, again, without repeating anything that anyone told you, what happens next?
We're just making small talk.
Okay. And at this point, based on what you have observed, do you have any concerns?
Yes.
And without being specific about those concerns, what is the nature of those concerns?
I sustained.
Do you have any specific concerns about Fatima?
Yes.
And what is the nature of that concern?
The nature.
I'm sorry. It's
Objection as to relevance.
members of the jury. At this time, I'm going to ask that the bailiffs come forward and take you back to the jury room for a brief break.
Uh-oh.
I'm actually going to have you step down and step outside the courtroom, and we'll bring you back in a few minutes. Ms. Stone, relevance?
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. As we have talked about with both Ms. Robinson, as we've talked about with Ms. Waltermeyer, this is an individual who has known now Fatima for a couple of years. She's not on her caseload, but she has interacted with her. She's had an opportunity to see her over the course of 2 years. And on this day, again, without asking her for specifics associated with that, she has indicated that she had a concern for her. It is relevant for the jury, I think, to understand that this is yet another adult that shared that concern based on the information that they had and their observations of Fatima specifically, that it, again, rebuts the implication that Fatima is a liar and making all of this up. Additionally, I think it's a clarification, certainly, that she wasn't concerned Fatima was going to get lost walking to the bus stop. It was a generalized concern. I anticipate she's going to say something along the lines of for Fatima's safety based on what she had witnessed and what she knows of Fatima. That is directly in line with the nature of the other testimony that has been provided and deemed relevant in this case by those other witnesses.
Just one moment.
She knows Fatima from after school and through her sister Nora. Doesn't have any specific relationship with her beyond that. I didn't object to her testifying that she appeared thinner, frail, and scared. She then has a conversation with Ms. Robinson, who tells me what's going on. And now what is the concern? Waltermeyer has testified to her concern, so has Ms. Robinson. To me, this is cumulative and simply, basically, her concern is going to be informed by what happened afterward and by Ms. Robinson's statement as to what happened. She's not an employee of the school. She's a contract mental health provider and drug and alcohol treatment provider who has no professional relationship with Fatima. I think this goes beyond the court's ruling about individual people who have specific relationships with Fatima or on behalf of the school. I don't think it's proper to add this testimony. It's cumulative at best.
Ms. Stone, anything further?
It's not cumulative, it's different. It's a different perspective based on different interactions. And she initiated that part of the conversation about saying just in the last 6 weeks, she looked different. She looked thinner, she looked frail, she looked scared. And that is different than how I saw her even 6 weeks ago. And she's known her now at this point for going on 2 years. So it is consistent with those statements that Ms. Waltermeyer made and Ms. Robinson made. It is a different set of observations about the same individual who has an ongoing concern. It is also consistent, I will reinforce, with what Ms. Waltermeyer said about these are people that that student, Fatima Ali, has had a relationship with and built that relationship with over the course of her time at Timberline High School. And that is consistent with Ms. Waltermeyer's concern about her being transferred to another high school. So this is yet another adult that reestablishes that relationship and an understanding of Fatima. So I think that is relevant as we're going into this. And I would disagree that her understanding or her concern is based on what Ms. Robinson told her about that day versus and what she saw after the fact. She's already described what she observed herself, and that in and of itself is concerning.
All right, thank you. I'm going to sustain the objection. This witness answering a question as to any specific concern that she had on that day is different than the testimony I allowed by Ms. Robinson and Ms. Waltermeyer. Ms. Robinson was an actual provider to Fatima at the school and was able to testify as to those interactions and what she observed in the day in question and her interactions with her in the day in questions, and therefore the concerns based upon her historical relationship with her and then what was happening that day. And I've already indicated why I found that that was relevant and admissible above Mrs. Ali's objection. For Ms. Walter Meyer, that I also allowed her to discuss her concern as the vice principal. Contrary to what Mr. Leary said, I did not let her talk about on behalf of the school. In fact, I excluded that. However, she was the vice principal. She had had interactions with the family itself and worked with the family. When I say the family, I mean Mrs. Ali. And because of that connection and her contacts with Fatima related to her schooling and ultimately moving to online schooling, I allowed some of the testimony regarding her concerns based upon her work with Fatima and with the family. This witness has never worked directly with Fatima, knows her from the school. She has testified as to what she observed on that day, and that she described how she, what she witnessed and what how she described how Fatima was presenting prior to school being let out. But what the nature of her concern is not relevant. I would also indicate that it was informed somewhat, certainly by hearsay from her discussions with Mrs. Or Miss Robinson, when Ms. Robinson told her what was going on. Therefore, I am going to sustain the objection. I don't find her testimony as to what the specifics of the concern were is relevant as it relates to the issues in this case. I'll have the bailiffs bring the jury back in, please, and we can have Ms. Arnold return to the stand.
Judge, your water's empty. I seen that. I heard the little straw rattling in there. Okay, file in, everybody. Y'all sit down. Let's get this show on.
Members of the jury, I have sustained the objection, and Ms. Stone, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Ms. Arnold, right, before we broke, you said you had observed, your testimony was that you had observed Fatima. She looked thinner than you had seen her about 6 weeks prior. I believe the word you used also was frail and scared.
Sustained.
Was that your testimony previously?
Yes.
Okay. Sustained. And when we...
Over that.
Move to strike.
The last question and answer will be stricken.
And so after you've seen Fatima go out in that condition that you have described, and you are standing there, you said Miss Robinson came back. What happens next?
We are talking, and a couple minutes into talking, Fatima comes in the front door.
Okay, and when you say Fatima comes in the front door, where are you? When you say you're talking, where are you in relation to Fatima coming in the front door?
Yeah, I think we were standing a little closer to the attendance office desk, so a little bit farther from the front of my door of my office.
Okay, and who is in the office at this time?
I know for sure Miss West and Miss Kinley and myself and Liz.
Okay, and you said Fatima comes in the front door of where?
That leads from the main office to the common areas.
Okay, and what happens when Fatima comes in the main office?
She's trying to scream. She's really loud, but her voice is really gravelly. She's running towards us past the office desk there, and she is saying something and while she's screaming.
And so how does she appear to you in terms of demeanor when you see Fatima?
Demeanor, she looks terrified. She looked like she was in fear. She looked like she was in pain.
And what about physically, how did she appear? You'd seen her when she'd left just a little bit before. How did she appear now? Same or something different?
Something different.
What does that different look like?
She was kind of staggering as she was coming in. She was trying to go as fast as she could. I think that she just was not capable of fully running while she's making or saying things.
And you described her as appearing terrified and in fear and in pain. What does that look like physically?
Yeah, it's mostly the expression on her face. I'm sorry, I cry.
That's okay. What does that look like?
She looked, thank you, like her face was scrunched up, maybe a little bit red.
Oh no.
It's really hard to describe fear.
Sure.
But she just looked really scared.
And you said she was saying something at the time. What was she saying at the time?
She was yelling to her best ability. She was saying, "He tried to kill me. My dad tried to kill me. He was choking me."
And what happens next?
Very quickly after, maybe just a second or two, the student who I now know is after following her.
Okay. And going back for a moment, when Fatima is making these statements to you, is she gesturing in any way?
She has her hands up near her neck as she's making those statements.
Okay. And what do you do when she makes those statements to you and the other student, Isaiah?
I turn to my left to Liz and I say, "Get them in a locked room."
Overruled. Go ahead.
I turn to Liz and I say, "Get them into a locked room."
And what do you do?
I turn and head for the front door that leads to the commons.
And what happens with them?
I saw them start to run away before I turned around.
And when you see run away where?
From the main office towards the principal's area.
And what is everybody else doing? So you said it was you, Miss Robinson, Denise, is that Denise Kinley?
Yes.
Okay. And you said, I believe, Miss West, is that Sosa West?
Yes.
What is everybody else doing during this time?
I'm not aware of what Denise Kinley and Sosa West are really doing at that time. It was a matter of seconds.
So you said you went towards those glass doors. What happens next?
As I'm hurrying to the doors, I grab the door, which is the locking door, to shut it, and I shut the door.
And are those front doors coming into the office, or a different set of doors?
It's the glass door that leads from the commons into the office.
Okay. And does anyone else come in that you see as you're going through the process of closing those doors?
Yes. Ms. Ali has come through the door before I was able to shut it all the way.
Okay. And what happens next?
After I shut the door, I turn around and run around Ms. Ali towards the vice principal's office.
So did Mrs. Ali go around you?
Yes.
Okay. And when you say you go towards the vice principal's office, where is that?
That's completely across the main office to the other side.
Do you know at this point where Mrs. Robinson and those two students, Fatima and...
No.
And what do you do next?
I run around Ms. Ali to get to the two double doors that lead towards the vice principal's office, the doors that Liz and the two students ran through.
Okay, so you know they went through those two doors, you just don't know where they went thereafter?
Correct.
Okay. And what do you do once you get to those two doors?
I grab both of those doors from the inside of the principal's office side, and I'm shutting them.
Okay. And when you shut them, how many doors are in the back side of that office? I believe you previously said 3, is that correct?
The ones that lead from the main office to the vice principal's. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. You can't ask questions until asked.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. If you don't understand a question, just let me know if you don't understand it and I'll rephrase it, okay?
Yes, can you rephrase it?
Yes, absolutely. So previously when you indicated you were talking about the front office and you said, I believe there were 3 sets of doors to the back and yours is the middle door, is that correct?
Yes.
So if you were talking about that admin door, or excuse me, that front office, and you're talking about the administration doors, where in the set of 3, if you're looking at the back of the front office, is that set of doors?
If I'm looking at my office, it's to the right of that.
Okay. And when you're in trying to close those doors, are you closing them from the office side, the administration side, or something else?
The administration side.
Okay. And explain what happens next.
As I'm trying to close the doors, they're kind of on like hydraulics. They close very slowly, and I was just putting my body pressure on them to close them as fast as I could.
Did they close as quickly as the front doors?
No, they did not.
And you described Mrs. Ali came in. How did you know it was Mrs. Ali? What about that What about her indicated to you that it was Mrs. Ali?
She was yelling, "Where's my daughter?" I saw my daughter go through there. "Where's my daughter?"
And how was she dressed at the time, if you recall?
She was wearing a long either dress or pants, dark in color, and she had her headscarf on.
And do you actually get those pressurized doors closed?
I do.
And what happens next?
On the inside, the administration side, there's a bar that you can push to open and shut those doors. And I grabbed onto that and leaned back with my body weight to hold them shut.
Okay. And again, without repeating anything that you have heard, can you hear if Miss Ali is engaging with anyone in the front office?
Yes.
Okay. And how would you describe the demeanor or the tone of that back and forth?
It was very loud. It was almost to the point of yelling.
And how long did that go on? Do you recall?
I don't, but it felt like just a couple minutes.
Okay. How did when you saw Miss Ali, how did she appear to you?
Upset.
What do you mean by that?
Maybe more like frantic.
I'm going to ask you again. What do you mean by that? What does that look like?
She was yelling. She was yelling really loudly through the door as I was shutting it, waving her hands.
Did you ever hear her asking about the condition of her daughter?
No, she did not.
May I approach, Honor?
You may.
I'm going to show you what's been previously admitted as State's Exhibit 111. Ask you to look at 111 silently to yourself for a moment, and then look up at me when you're done, please.
Shots from the camera in the main office.
Okay, are those appear to be a true and accurate representation of that scene as it appeared on October 18th of 2024?
Yes.
Do you recognize whether you are depicted in any of those photos?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to come retrieve those from you. May I, yes. May I publish, Honor? Yes. Mrs. Robinson, or excuse me, Mrs. Arnold, can you, I know there's a little bit of a glare with the lights. Can you see, first of all, what we're looking at in State's Exhibit 111 on page 1? What is this a photograph of?
This is looking at the attendance office desk from behind, I think above my office door.
Okay. And is that how Fatima appeared to you, consistent with what you've described? Do you see her when she comes in there, or do you see her later?
I believe I saw her right around that point.
Okay. Showing you State's Exhibit, or saying State's Exhibit 11, page 2, and who is depicted here at the front desk in the blonde. We'll hold. There we go. Who is the individual here with the blonde hair?
Denise Kinley.
Okay. State's Exhibit 4. Do you recognize the individuals, or excuse me, 111, page 4. Do you recognize the individuals pictured in this photograph? Again, apologies for the glare, but.
Yes.
And where are you located in this photograph?
I believe I'm the one in the white shoes.
Okay. And page 5 of State's Exhibit 111, same question. What's happening in this photograph?
Denise Kinley and myself and Fatima are standing across from my office door.
Okay. And is this when you observed that other student, Isaiah? If you recall.
I don't recall if that's him or not.
Okay. Showing you still State's Exhibit 111, looking at page 7. What are we looking at here? Straighten her out.
This is Ms. Ali coming through, and I'm at the front glass doors. Well, so Miss West and Denise Kinley are on on the phones.
Okay. And when you say you're at the front glass doors, are you talking about this individual in the white shoes in the very top center of the photograph?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. And is this the individual coming through, I would say, top left quadrant of the photograph that you've identified as Miss Ali?
Yes.
Okay. And at this point, have those two students, Fatima and Isaiah, been moved into that back room?
Yes.
Okay. Page 8. Do you recognize who is depicted in, page 8 of this exhibit?
Yes.
Who's that?
Ms. Ali on the left-hand side, Denise Kinley and Sosa West on the right-hand side, and myself facing the camera after I'd shut the door.
So question about the doors. When you close the doors, is it something where people could still exit if they needed to, but you just couldn't get in from the outside?
Correct.
Okay. And page 9 of State's Exhibit 111. I know it's a little blurry. What are we observing here in terms of the, again, top left-hand quadrant of this photograph?
I'm running towards those double doors.
At the back of that office?
Yes.
It appears that at that point, Mrs. Ali was in front of you. Is that correct?
Yes.
So did you have to go around her or something else? Something else?
I had to go around her.
So after you get those doors shut, can you hear if there's argument or yelling happening on the other side?
Yes.
How long does that go for? Do you recall?
It felt like a minute or two.
And again, without repeating anything that anyone told you, what happens next?
As I'm leaning back, holding the door shut, staff members are coming out of their offices to find out what happened.
At some point during this process, is the school placed on a lockdown?
Yes.
Can you see while you're holding those doors closed if either of those students are present anywhere behind you?
Yes, they are not.
Is there a nurse's room back there?
Yes, there is.
Okay. So if they had been taken to a nurse's room, would you have been able to personally observe that?
No.
At some point, do you let go of those doors?
Yes.
And whenabouts does that occur?
After the lockdown was put in effect.
At some point, did the yelling or that you could hear between Mrs. Kinley and Mrs. Ali stop?
Yes.
Do you recall how long that yelling lasted for?
Just a minute or two.
During the time, could you hear, while you were listening to Mrs. Ali, could you hear, was she speaking in English or something else?
English.
Did you ever reopen those double doors again to the main office?
Yes.
About how long later?
Probably just a couple of minutes later after the lockdown.
Okay, so then what happens next?
I opened the doors and I could see the front office staff in the main office on the phones calling 911.
And at some point then
Sorry, I'm going to stop you for just a moment. I think right now would be a really good time for everyone just to stand up for a minute, move around in place if that would be helpful.
Nope, she's busy playing. She has another rock. I don't know where she's from. Look, I'm gonna just spill the beans here. I live by a river, and my floor has a crack in it because the concrete. That's what happens when you live by a river, and we have this black gumbo, this dirt here, and so I have a crack in my floor. And I filled the crack.
And so you said, what do you do after those doors open back up to the main office? What happens next?
I'm kind of just the middle person between the front office staff and the administration area.
And what do you mean by the middle person?
Relaying what Denise Kinley and Sosa West are up when they're updating about the 911 calls to the administration area, to whoever was back there.
Okay. And then once that process is complete, where do you go?
I go back to where my office is.
Okay. What are you doing at your office at that point?
Just kind of standing there in shock.
Okay. At some point, do you see law enforcement or medics arrive?
Yes.
And about how long after, if you know?
I don't know. 5 to 10 minutes, maybe.
5 to 10 minutes, not very long. Is that fair? Okay. Had you seen, prior to this event, had you seen Mrs. Ali before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and how close in time relation to this event had you previously seen Mrs. Ali?
Maybe a couple weeks.
And was that at the school?
Yes.
Was that in the course of picking up a student, dropping a student off, something else?
Something else.
Okay. And again, without details, what was that something else?
I believe she had a meeting with one of the administrators.
Okay. And when you say one of the administrators, who would that administrator be?
Celeste Waltermeyer.
Okay. Have you spoken with Mr. Ali before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And when about was that?
About a week or two before the October 18th event.
Was that at school?
Yes.
And did that conversation happen in English, Arabic, or something else?
English.
How would you describe the effectiveness or the clarity of that communication between you and Mr. Ali?
It was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any issue communicating with him?
No, I did not.
Okay. And you said you are aware of a student by the name of
Yes.
after these events. Did
Yes.
you see him on October 18th of 2024?
Yes.
When you saw Mr. Williams,
upset, frantic, scared as well.
how did he sound? Did you hear him saying anything? What did his voice sound like?
Yes, he was yelling loud, and he was saying,
what did his voice sound like? Sorry. What did his voice sound like?
Okay. His voice sounded loud, shaky a little bit.
How would you describe the pace?
Very quick.
And by the time, have you previously spoken with Fatima prior to these events?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with what her voice sounds like?
Yes.
Are you familiar with what the pacing of her speech sounds like?
Yes.
You previously said she was screaming, but there wasn't sound. Can you explain to me what you mean, please?
Yes. You can tell, I could tell by her face, or it appeared that she was trying to get out very loudly what had just happened. And it was coming out very gravelly and not as clear as it was previously.
And how would you describe the, for lack of a better word, the smoothness of her movements?
It was not smooth. She was kind of staggering. She was not walking like she had previously walked when I saw her before.
Okay. Based on how you observed Fatima, had you ever heard her sound or appear this way before?
No, I have not.
Thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Mr. Kading, cross-examination. Mr. Leary, cross-examination.
Good
afternoon.
Thank you for taking the time to be here. So, turning to the point when you have returned to the office and Fatima runs by you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You described her mom that then followed in, correct?
Yes.
And you were able to hear what she had to say.
Yes.
And she was talking about my daughter. Where's my daughter? I saw her run in here, correct?
Yes.
So she gave you verbal indication. The reason that she had run in was to look for her daughter, right?
Yes.
And did you tell her where her daughter went?
I did not.
Did you speak with her at all?
No, I did not.
Okay. So then you had, just after she had run in, you locked the doors to the commons, correct?
Yes.
And then you went around her to the doors and closed the doors behind.
Yes.
And you talked about the maybe not difficulty, but the time delay in the hydraulics on those doors, correct?
Yes.
But you were successfully able to close those doors.
Yes.
And she didn't push those doors open, correct?
She did not.
Okay. So the only time you saw her is the time from when you closed the doors to the commons to the time that you went in and successfully closed those doors, correct?
Yes.
And when you heard her say, my daughter, was that when you were still in the office walking by her, or?
Hey, can we take note of his tie? I really didn't pay attention. Yeah, she's bad. She's the one that unplugged my camera. That's what happened. It came unplugged. I had to replug it in. It dropped me off the, yeah, that was a Lola problem. Look at his tie. His tie is awfully bright. I wonder if this is a good luck tie. Just saying.
Through the doors or both?
I'm not aware of what she was saying when she came in.
So you heard her say, my daughter, where's my daughter? You could hear that through the door?
Yes.
Okay. Just clarifying as to when you heard that sound. And you described her as frantic.
Yes.
Okay. So what she was trying to do was find her daughter, right?
Yes.
Or at least that's what she outwardly said.
Yes.
Ms. Stone did she ask about her medical condition? Correct? And you said no. Right?
She did not ask about her medical condition.
Right. And there was no one there that would give any indication that they'd had the time to talk to her about her medical condition, correct?
Correct.
I mean, you saw Fatima run through that area, correct?
Yes.
And shortly thereafter, her mom comes looking for her, correct?
Yes.
Nothing to indicate that there was anyone there who would have information about how she was doing. Fair?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Nothing further. Thank you.
Redirect.
Ms. Arnold, based on how Fatima appeared to you at the time, did it appear to you whether she was trying to escape from anyone?
Yes.
Your Honor.
Who made the objection?
I did, Your Honor.
What's your objection?
That wasn't the question.
Overruled.
You can answer. That means you can answer.
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Mr. Kading Recross?
No.
Mr. Leary? All right. And may this witness be excused?
Yes, please, John.
Any objection, Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Leary?
No.
You are excused. You may step down. You're free to go or stay in the courtroom however you so desire. Thank you. Ms. Stone, you may call your next witness. We're going to take about a 10-minute recess, and I'll ask the bailiffs to take you back to the jury room. Thank you.
We didn't hear what Miss Stone said because they turned the sound off, but I believe she says the state rests. But we will see, because I'm not 100% sure on that. Oops, wrong button, Sheila.
Please be seated. First of all, I just wanted to indicate the reason I did the stand-up, interrupting Ms. Stone's examination. I try not to ever interrupt lawyers, but there was juror number 8, second in from the front row, had closed his eyes. And I've been watching them. They've been completely alert the entire time, but he looked sleepy and he was much better after I did that. So I just wanted to put that on the record. If Ms. Stone ultimately indicates after our 10-minute recess that the state rests, how much time, Mr. Kading, do you need to speak with Mr. Ali as it relates to his decision as to whether or not he's going to testify? Because I understand you wouldn't be calling anyone else potentially besides Mr. Ali.
Right?
All right. And Mr. Leary, I have the same question for you.
If I can answer that in 10 minutes after the break.
No, I just mean, how much time are you going to need to speak with Mrs. Ali about her decision as to whether or not she would testify? 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
We've already had conversations. I just want to.
And then finally, I just wanted to ensure that the interpreters will be able to have one interpreter for Mr. Ali and Mr. Kading and one interpreter for Mr. Leary and Mrs. Ali during these discussions. And the interpreters are shaking their heads. Yes, thank you. So what I would anticipate then is I will ultimately hear from Ms. Stone, and then we might have the jury go out again relatively quickly, and then I will take another recess to allow those conversations to happen. All right. We'll be in recess for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Bark.
Court's in recess.
Bark warning. Sorry, guys.
No issues before we bring the jury back.
No.
All right. And Mr. Kading?
No.
Mr. Leary?
Breeze, right? It's always good to see you, William.
Just repeat what you said so I understand.
I said that the state intends to rest, and we've confirmed that the clerk's exhibit list matches what the state was tracking for the exhibit list in terms of what's been offered, admitted, and what has not been admitted and not offered. Nothing is outstanding.
I didn't have the time to talk to my client. I don't need additional time at the court. I'm not sure about Mr. Kading, but I'm prepared to answer if my client isn't going to testify. So if the court wants to do that, as you described earlier, I'm fine, but I just wanted to forecast.
All right. Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor, I took the 10 minutes to talk to him as well.
You did. All right. Then, I'm sorry? All right, so then I would like to go ahead and do a colloquy. I ask a few questions. I'm going to ask a few questions of Mr. Ali, and then I'm going to ask a few questions of Mrs. Ali. Mr. Ali, have you had time prior to today to talk to Mr. Kading about whether or not you will testify during the trial?
Oh, he stood up and he put his earpiece in.
Yes.
And did you have time to talk with him today again about whether or not you would testify during the trial?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Do you understand that you have an absolute right to remain silent and not testify?
Yes.
And do you understand that you also have an absolute right to take the stand and testify on your own behalf?
Yes.
Mr. Kading has indicated that you are choosing not to testify. Is that true?
Oh, he chose not to.
Can you repeat the question?
Mr. Kading has indicated that you are choosing not to testify during the trial. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
I do not understand the question correctly. You can do the consecutive in this case.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to take the stand, and he did not force me to take this decision.
Okay. And so Mr. Kading told me on your behalf that you are not going to testify.
No. That's correct.
Okay. And so that's a true statement that Mr. Kading gave me, that you are choosing not to testify.
No. Yes.
Okay. Has anyone promised you anything to get you to not testify?
No.
Is anyone forcing you to not testify?
No.
Thank you. I find that Mr. Ali is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily choosing to not testify in this matter. And Mr. Leary.
Yeah, I did have an opportunity to speak with my client previously last week about testifying. It was entirely her decision, and she has confirmed for me today, and clear to tell you in open court that it's her decision to not testify in this case.
Mrs. Ali, prior to today, have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Leary about whether you would testify during this trial?
Yes.
And today, have you had an opportunity to talk with Mr. Leary again about whether or not you will testify during the trial?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have an absolute right to remain silent?
Yes.
And that you also have an absolute right to take the stand and testify on your own behalf?
Yes.
Mr. Leary has indicated that you are choosing to not testify during the trial. Is what he said true?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything to get you to not testify?
No.
Is anyone forcing you to not testify?
No.
Thank you. I find that Mrs. Ali is knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily choosing not to testify during the trial. Before we bring the jury back, I would like to talk about scheduling. We can address jury instructions tomorrow starting at 9. I would agree that there's not a possibility from my perspective that we would be able to address the jury instructions, get those jury instructions finalized,
Her words.
and have the lawyers give closing arguments tomorrow, even though it would be wonderful if we could do that. I don't think that that is realistic. And so I'll tell you what I'm proposing, and then I will hear your feedback. We do jury instructions tomorrow, and hopefully then I would be able to have court administration email you the final version of the instructions in the afternoon. That closing arguments would then be on a Monday, starting at 9 a.m. I will have the bailiffs order lunch for the jury so that we can have part of the closing arguments, take like a half-hour break or so that the jury can eat lunch, maybe 45 minutes, we'll see. And then we will continue with the closing arguments. Ms. Stone, do you have an estimate as it relates to your initial closing argument?
I apologize, Your Honor. I don't at this time. I anticipate putting that together, and I can send that roughly to defense counsel. I anticipate putting it together plainly over the weekend. I wanted to see where our jury instructions end up. I think, obviously, I've done trial in front of this court before a number of times. I've in advance notified defense counsel, but I've not had trial with either of them before. My practice, I'll be doing closing. My practice is always to do slides. Most of those slides, obviously, are jury instructions. And so I want to make sure that I have a good, clearly understand what our jury instructions are going to be as I'm preparing those. We have a number of jury instructions in this case because of the number of charges and because it's two defendants, and some of those charges obviously are different between the two. So I anticipate it's going to be longer than I would say my average, about an hour. So I'm going to say maybe about 2 hours. I'm hoping to be less than that, and certainly if there's a point during that where we need to take a break, I might ask the court to do that depending on what is happening with the jurors. I am mindful of diminishing returns, so to speak, on closing, so I'm mindful of that, but I also want to make sure we get through all of the evidence. We've been here for a while. We've heard from a lot of people. And there's a lot of instructions to apply that evidence to.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kading, do you have an idea in general how long your closing will be? And by that, I mean an hour, more than an hour. That's really what
I would say it's probably going to be a little bit more than an hour, but hopefully not more than 90 minutes.
Okay. Mr. Leary?
I'm sure Ms. O will attest I'm horrible at forecasting this, but I would say an hour.
Okay.
My only request is that whatever happens, that we contain it to one day.
We will definitely contain it to one day. And by ordering lunch, it gives us a lot of flexibility to ensure that we can have all of the arguments and hopefully give them time to at least get started. All right, let's go ahead and bring the jury back in.
Yeah, they may make it a short day then tomorrow with doing jury instructions, and they're gonna go, I guess they'll go over it with the jury. No, they can't go over it with jury until after. Well, no, they go over it before the closing, right? Cindy, I can usually read typo, but I don't know what HVE is. Do we HVE?
Please be seated. Ms. Stone, you may call your next witness.
But thank you for being here, Cindy. It's been a long day.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to make a couple of motions.
All right. Members of the jury, I am going to have the bailiffs take you back to the jury room.
They're going to do jury instructions tomorrow and all that. So I'll do it the same way as I did today. I'm not going to start until 3. And then that way we can just zip through all the breaks and all that stuff and condense this down and make it easy peasy.
Please be seated.
I apologize, Your Honor, I had to wait for them to rest officially. At this time, Your Honor, I move in Mr. Ali's case to dismiss count 3, which is an unlawful imprisonment.
What?
The allegation against him is that he
3
restrained his daughter unlawfully.
3 central.
She was at the time a minor. He was her parent. There does not appear to be a basis in law for the count of unlawful imprisonment. And for that reason, I would ask the case be dismissed at this time. Similarly, on the assault in the first degree, the requirement is that there has to be an intent to commit a serious bodily injury, and in this case, excuse my language, I was looking for the charging document, but if I got this 1 second, I thought I had it on me, but it's actually not it. language on the charging document for the assault first degree. Yeah. I got this in the email. I apologize. This was the one that was handed to me morning, first day.
I can read it. I have it in front of me.
You have it in front of you, Your Honor.
Count 2 says, on or about October 18, 2024, as principal or as an accomplice, did assault another person, FIA, that the assault was committed by a force or means likely to inflict great bodily harm or death, and that the defendant acted with intent to inflict great bodily harm.
Right, and in this case, great bodily harm or death, the intent to inflict that has not been shown by the evidence that we have here. What we had was a strangulation case, which is defined obviously differently. And so if the state's language is to be taken in general, any strangulation case would become a assault 1, and clearly it's not. There's a specific assault 2 charge here that they did not charge with strangulation, and they didn't show any other intent to do anything other than strangle. No intent to cause bodily injury that would permanently affect any bodily function or disfigure or.
This man just said, I'm rewinding that just for a second because that was off the chart. No, sir.
Strangulation, and they didn't show any other intent to do anything other than strangle. No intent
there was
to cause bodily.
No intent to cause bodily harm. It was just strangulation. Okay. Strangulation causes harm.
Injury that would permanently affect any bodily function or disfigure or.
What?
So for that reason, I move to dismiss count 2 as well.
Nope.
Thank you. Ms. Stone, are you going to address these arguments?
I am, Your Honor.
All right.
First of all, you don't get to restrain your child, anyone, alone, whether they're your child or they're an adult, by choking them into unconsciousness. You just don't. You don't get to restrain a person for that purpose. So that is an inaccurate statement that just because he's her dad, he gets to restrain her as a minor in whatever way he wants and for whatever purpose. So in terms of the unlawful imprisonment, the facts have been established. The testimony has been provided for a prima facie case for that to defeat that argument. As it relates to assault in the first degree, again, a prima facie case has been established for that. I don't have the case directly on hand. Certainly, I wasn't aware, and counsel doesn't have to tell me, but there's a case directly on point that says you can, in fact, commit assault in the first degree by strangling someone. Assault is, strangulation is not merely an assault to conviction, which appears to be the argument that counsel is making. In fact, in the case that I'm thinking of, and I'll need a minute to go back and find it for the court, but the case that I'm thinking of, that is exactly the argument that defense made in that case, that it couldn't be an assault 1 because there's a strangulation prong specific for assault 2. And the reviewing court said that's not the case. It can also be an assault 2 by strangulation, but certainly strangulation can rise to the level of assault 1, whether it is completed or is done with the force intended for great bodily harm. That the state doesn't even need to prove great bodily harm occurred, simply that was the intent and the force used was done for that purpose. So the prima facie case for assault in the first degree absolutely has been demonstrated for this jury, and that is a question of fact for the jury to decide. I would ask the person to deny those motions.
All right. I want to get something out of my chambers.
She's on point.
So this will be a good time to do that so that also Ms. Stone, so that the record can be complete and I can look at what you are referring to. I will take, do you need more than 5 minutes? I don't need more than 5.
Okay. She went to her chambers. She went to her chamber. She needed to go read something. All right. There she is. She's back.
All right. The first issue raised by Mr. Kading was a request to dismiss the count 3 unlawful imprisonment, indicating an insufficiency of evidence as to the restriction of Fatima's movements, indicating that the evidence shows that Mr. Ali is her father and that he has the right to restrain her.
No.
So first of all, there's been a significant amount of evidence that has been introduced in this case. And interestingly enough, I have thought about this issue in the course of the trial, just as I've thought about the evidence and the facts in this case. I was specifically thinking about this issue when I was working on the jury instructions. One of the jury instructions proposed by Mr. Kading on Mr. Ali's behalf is the affirmative defense of that the force was lawful as it relates to the allegation of assault, as it defined in the instruction related to discipline of a child. And that instruction, of course, applies or could apply to the assault charge, which is count 2. And that instruction says in part, you may, but are not required to, infer that it is unreasonable to do the following acts to correct or restrain a child: throwing, kicking, burning, or cutting a child, striking a child with a closed fist, interfering with a child's breathing, doing any act that is likely to cause, and that does cause, bodily harm greater than transient pain. The reason I was thinking of this in conjunction with the unlawful imprisonment is because it says it's unreasonable to do one of these acts to correct or restrain a child. And the evidence that the state is relying upon relates to an unlawful restraint from their opinion, which includes the argument that Ms. Stone made as it relates to strangling Fatima until she went unconscious. Clearly, parents do have the right to reasonably restrain their children. We ground our kids all the time. Can't leave the house and do all of those things, but certainly the evidence presented in this case is sufficient to go to a jury. And I don't find that parents have an unchecked ability to restrain their children, or that the law allows for that. And therefore, I will deny the motion to dismiss the unlawful imprisonment charge. Certainly, Mr. Kading has the ability to make all of those arguments, in fact, to the jury as it relates to their consideration of the case. As it relates
Ooh, I'm with you, Judge.
for the request to dismiss the assault in the first degree, Ms. Stone has provided 2 cases. Mr. Kading, did you have a chance to look at those?
Your Honor, I did have a chance to look at Osman, and I think Osman predated the amendment to the assault charge. I also believe that that case involved a lot more of involved a ligature, socking mouth, and other intentional acts that would seem to elevate it beyond a simple strangulation.
And I understand that Mr. Kading just got it, but it may be helpful if he looks at paragraph 37, which makes that analysis in Osman separate and apart from the 3 means in which they decided that that was not an appropriate argument or lawful argument on behalf of, maybe persuasive is a better word, on behalf of defense. Paragraph 37 standing alone, which is at, I believe, star 19 in the copy that the state has, is page 6 of 6, addresses that specifically in terms of the amendment, saying it plainly it doesn't matter by the plain language of the new statute, which is the current one under which we operate. So those facts are irrelevant to the analysis. They, in this case, were yet another reason, but the statute standing alone is sufficient.
And again, Your Honor, I would just say that it's clear in the Osman that the intent was entirely different. That involves someone who was putting a gag in the mouth, putting chains around somebody's throat, tightening it, loosening it, tightening it, loosening it over a period of time, which is clearly nothing like what was the intent in this case.
All right, thank you.
The only other thing, I apologize, Your Honor, I would note is that the court also in Osman at paragraph 11 specifically says it addressed the asphyxiation piece, and then also separately in terms of the sufficiency of the evidence argument, specifically addressed that the presence of a petechiae on the neck also permitted the jury to find that the strangulation was likely to produce at least great bodily harm. The evidence supported the verdict on count 1. So it addressed the strangulation separately and apart as well, inconsistent with that.
All right, thank you. So I read both of the cases, and although I would not have been able to quickly find these cases, I am familiar with this body of law in general as it relates to the fact that strangulation does not have to solely be charged under the assault 2 statute, as I believe that both of these cases address clearly under the evidence that has been presented at trial. The state has presented prima facie evidence of assault in the first degree related to the fact that the facts are that Mr. Ali had Fatima in a I'm going to use the term chokehold, but that his arm was wrapped around her neck, and that he was squeezing her neck to the point that she became unconscious. She had multiple injuries on her neck. She had the petechiae. Dr. Gilbert testified at length regarding the injuries and the potential impact of what Fatima experienced. And therefore, I find that clearly the law allows for it, and that there has been prima facie evidence presented by the state that allows assault in the first degree to be something that will go to the jury for their consideration. Have any other motions, Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
So I don't want to just bring the jury back in if I'm going to have Mr. Leary indicate that he has something for my consideration.
Not today.
All right. Bring the jury back in, please. Mr. Kading?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the defense for Mr. Ali will rest.
Thank you.
Defense rest.
Mr. Larry?
Ihsan Zahraa Ali, defense rest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Defense
Members of the
rest.
jury, the evidence is now closed. What is left is for you to be instructed on the law that applies to the case, and then hear closing arguments of the lawyers. I think that the average person believes that jury instructions, because I've been talking them from the very beginning when we did jury selection, I said at the conclusion of the case, I will instruct you on the law that applies, but they do not just magically come about, and they take work to put together at the conclusion of a trial. And jury instructions really aren't addressed by the court with the lawyers until the evidence is closed. I tell you all of that because tomorrow the lawyers and I will address the issues related to jury instructions. And then, of course, once we know what those instructions are going to be, they have to be put in a proper form. Any copies have to be made and the like. So we are not having you come in tomorrow. Also, because although the jury instructions will be finalized at some point tomorrow, closing statements are not brief. You heard a lot of testimony. There are many exhibits, and the lawyers are going to take time. All the lawyers will take time to make their closing arguments to you. And we don't break that up between days. So I can't have you come back at 1:30 tomorrow because that would not leave enough time for you to hear all the closing arguments. So what that means is that on Monday at 9 a.m., we will begin the closing arguments. Closing arguments will conclude by the end of the day on Monday, and then you will begin your deliberations. We're going to order lunch for you on Monday. And what that means for you also is that you'll hear a portion of the closing arguments. Then we're going to take a break and be able to have lunch, not a normal hour and a half break. And then we'll resume the closing arguments. All right. So that means that you are going to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have 4 days. And it continues to be so vitally important that you ensure that in those 4 days, I know you have all been very careful and vigilant, but that you continue to be careful and vigilant to ensure that you are not exposed to any outside information about this case or about the law that applies to this case. Thank you so very much for your time and attention. We will see you on Monday morning.
Okay, so tomorrow they're just going to go through the jury instructions and get those all set up, which is fine. We can
Please be
zip zap
seated.
through those really quick. We will do
All
that
right.
at 3 Central.
So I put together the draft instructions, and I misunderstood this morning, Mr. Kading, when you provided those additional instructions, that they were additional supplemental instructions. And I realized that after I had printed the draft instructions. So what I did was I have them on a separate page. And so what I'm going to provide everyone, and which I'll place in the court file, everyone's going to get a green copy, and it says on the front, draft court's instructions to the jury. The instructions are in the general order in which I would anticipate giving whatever instructions we end up with. When there are two completely different instructions, I have, like, for example, number 22 and number 22A, when they're completely different. When there are just portions of the instruction that are different, I bolded it so that we could see where it seemed that it was different. And on a couple of the instructions, I referenced the WIPIC, with next to bolded language, I might have said who proposed the instruction. Usually that information is honestly for me, but all of the instructions that have been submitted by the parties are either actually copy and pasted in here, or the language you want is included in these draft instructions so that we can talk about where there are contested issues. So I'm going to have the lawyers come forward. Those are for the state. Mr. Hayden and Mr. Larry. And I did not know if it would be helpful for the interpreters to have the instructions.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So I have one for each of you.
Hey, Vamos, how are you?
I would indicate that I did not print a copy for Mr. Ali and Mrs. Ali. I did not know if that would be helpful. Mr. Leary, are you asking that I print a copy for Mrs. Ali?
This is in Arabic, which I don't
No.
expect the court to do, so no, I don't even have a copy.
Okay, I didn't think so. But I wanted to check.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Mr. Kading?
No, Mr. Ali indicates he does not.
All right. Finally, I said that all of the instructions are contained in the big packet and then that one page. There is one exception to that, and I just could not print another document. So in the additional supplemental instructions that Mr. Kading provided today, in addition to the 3 instructions that are on the one page, which I just used A, B, and C because I couldn't number them to fit in where they would go in the instructions. You also provided an instruction related to, it's the lesser included instruction itself. And previously the lesser included instruction, which is in the packet, it's number 22. It references only the lesser crime of assault in the 2nd degree. Mr. Kading proposed an additional instruction today, the same instruction, but indicating the lesser crimes of assault in the 2nd degree or assault in the 3rd degree. I actually did copy and paste that instruction in my Word version, but it was after I printed what you have in front of you. So when we have our discussion tomorrow, I know that if I ultimately give the instruction as it relates to assault in the 3rd degree, that I would use the lesser included instruction that references both assault in the 2nd degree and assault in the 3rd degree. And that if that was not given, then I would use a different lesser included instruction if I give a lesser included. All right. Also, you will receive the final instructions, presuming we get done by noon tomorrow. You will have them in the afternoon, and then I'll have to have the lawyers verify by Friday at noon if they agree that the instructions are consistent with what I had ruled tomorrow, so that we can put them into the final form. So you still will get another chance to review them after, obviously, those are emailed to you tomorrow afternoon. And so because I'm giving you this copy now at 4:20, I'm hopeful that you will have reviewed all of them before we come back into session, so everyone's not reading each instruction as we go through. Ms. Stone, do you have any issues that you want to address before we recess today?
I can't think of anything from the state, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kading?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Leary? All right. So we will be in recess until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Thank you.
All right, sports and recess.
All right. Okay. We took 7, almost 8 hours of testimony, and we condensed it down to 6.5 hours on 1.25 and skipped through all the breaks. I love it. We will do this again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central. I don't know where that is in your time zone, but it is 3 p.m. Central. We can all Google. I'm going to go take my dogs out, and then we're going to go lay on the bed and play for a little while. So until tomorrow, y'all have a great rest of your evening. Peace. Forever out. 4 p.m. Eastern. See, I knew Lois would have it. Y'all got it. Peace. Forever out. Y'all have a great night.